Chad, you threw the idea out, right, to play a show?
I was thinking about this on the drive today, and I was like, man, I think that it had been loosely thrown out there by one or more of us over the years, and then it'd be like, hey, we should do a show. Ha, no. And then shut down because, I don't think any of us ever really thought we were going to play these songs again.
Yeah,
and then the last time I think I sent out the text like, hey, we should do this thing. And everyone's like,
it was
I'm
more
in.
deliberate. It was
I'm
like,
in.
all right, guys, let's do it. And it's like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, it's time.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs podcast. I'm your host, Jay Ingersoll, and I'm here with my brothers in arm.
It's your boy, John. Just one arm.
One arm. Just one of them.
That's all I got.
And
I'm your right-hand man.
the other brothers in arms, Reinventing Yesterday. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it
going? Thanks for coming. Thanks for driving here. I know you guys kind of had a truck to get here, and
So far.
Yeah, a few of us. Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
been good.
Everyone from
Yeah.
Kalamazoo. Everyone else but Luke, right?
I'm in Frankenmuth.
Okay, that sounds like a bottle of alcohol.
I love Frankenmuth.
Yeah, it's a cool place, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I visited there a couple times. Went to the water park. Went to that hotel that has the water park in it in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Place is
I
cool.
didn't know they
It's
had a
fun.
water park there.
They have like two slides in the basement, but then they also have like a full. It's almost like a Craig's Cruisers in the basement of that hotel. It's wild.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Now they've got a new water park going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's opening in like a couple months.
No shit.
Biggest indoor water park in the state, something like that.
No kidding.
It's huge. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay,
That's cool. It's a cool place to visit, like in the summer.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff. It's kind of like a tourist town. No, they have that Christmas thing up there, Bonners.
Bronner's.
Yeah,
Bronner's.
Bronner's. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Giant
never
Christmas
going
store.
back to that place though.
No.
I'm
You don't
Bronnered
go
out,
every
dude.
Sunday?
Nope. I'm Bronnered out. Met my quota.
That's a one and
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
That's
a
a one-
little bit of overstimulation
I don't
there.
think I've been there since I was a kid.
So
See, you're due. You got to
so-
come back.
before we get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, I'll just have you guys go around the table, introduce yourself and what you do in the band, and then we'll go from there. So,
Cool. I'm Chad Moore. I play drums in the band.
Dave Parker, chug some riffs on guitar.
Yep. Jason Mills, same, just chugging.
Luke Fortin, yell into the mic.
cool.
Right.
So I know we've had some history together before we get into the reason why we're kind of here speaking to you guys. I know we played several shows with the different lineups.
Lot.
Yeah, I know when you guys switched drummers, you weren't there, but we even played with your other band, Lee the Butcher, before Infinite Design did
Yeah.
back in the day. And so a lot of Kalamazoo shows. Obviously, Luke, you're one of my best friends, so we go way back, And
Luke getting mentioned in another episode.
I'm on this one though.
yeah. And, yeah, second one he's on and mentioned in all of them.
Yep.
So we'll start here. Tell me a little bit about just kind of your musical journey and kind of how you got started in, playing your instrument, and then like how it developed into like extreme metal or metal, whatever you want to call it, metal adjacent. Like, how did you become that?
Yeah, for
Go
sure.
ahead, Chad.
So like Jason and I, we had met in high school.
Yeah,
Through
at
some
a bowling alley.
Yeah, at a bowling alley. Yeah, through like some mutual friends. We grew up in like neighbor towns, and so we were pretty close by. But yeah, somehow music came up while we were bowling, throwing some wicked strikes.
And you've
Right, dude?
always been like a monster bowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I just bowled last night.
Of course you did.
Tore it up, dude.
Yeah.
Not really, but
I think it was less than a week we were practicing in your parents' garage.
yeah, Jason and I just like started talking about music, realized we both play, and then kind of hit it off right away. It's kind of like didn't know what the heck kind of music we were gonna do, but
Yeah, it
I
was
don't-
kind of all over the place.
but I feel like we just kind of clicked right away with stuff. We were like
Yeah.
writing songs right off the bat. It was like one of those connections where it's like you're kind of reading each other's minds a little bit. One of those like rare things that you get lucky to find. And then
yeah, it just flowed really well. Like you could have like a 20-minute jam session, and then somewhere in there you're like, oh, that was fucking tight.
yeah,
Let's build off that.
yeah.
How old were you guys?
I was
Like
probably
17.
something like
right?
that. Yeah, I'm a year older than you, so I was like 17 or 18, something like that. But yeah, and then we had started to play with Brad Drake, and from there we kind of formed the rest of the band through some other local guys.
Yep.
But we were still trying to find our way for a while. It's like I feel like you and I were listening to a lot of brand new and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
We went through like a almost like a screamo phase as well, but a little on the heavier
Sick.
side.
Yeah, Under Oath was a heavy rotation in the playlist,
then-
I think,
then
around
E.T.
that time. So
E-Tid came in and like Evergreen Terrace, bands like that, and then because when we first started, it was all 6-string. I think just regular drop D.
yeah,
if I
that
remember
sounds right. Yeah, sounds right.
All hell drop D.
Yeah,
Yeah, all
and
hail.
like there was no like when like with our catalog of music, like it was spotty. It wasn't until we got 7 strings where we kind of narrowed our focus, and it was like RIY sound.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you, Unearth, for that inspiration.
I think I
yeah, there's
remember,
a little bit Unearth inspiration there. I think
remember- like buying that guitar. I think because you and JP were in the band at the time. Like you had just joined the band, and we were still playing with 6 strings. But
Oh, really?
yeah, when we were living in Kalamazoo at the landing apartment, and I took a trip to Guitar Center in town and randomly bought a 7-string, brought it back, and then Brad was there, and then I think he went out and bought one like the next
Like,
day.
right away.
I do remember that.
Yeah, because you were
Yeah.
just like drop tuning that Les Paul or something,
Mhm.
weren't you? Yeah. So, and then I mean, we had Folman singing in the band for quite a while. We had Justin Gargus, and we'd played a couple shows in Kalamazoo, and we were playing a lot of open mic stuff wherever we could play. Like it didn't matter. We'd play wherever someone had a stage and somewhere to get power, pretty much, But then we started chatting with JP, and I think that's how we ended up with crossing paths with Luke.
Yeah.
Because Gargus was going to like Olivet. He wasn't going to be able to commute. So he quit the band. And then we got in touch with JP. And then shortly after that, Folman lost interest in the band, and then we recruited Luke.
Did you guys know JP from like playing Club Soda?
Yeah, only from that. I think through
Okay.
MySpace or something, I might have reached out to him to book the first Club Soda show.
Yep.
And then we just kind of befriended him, and I think he somehow he knew we were in need of a bass player. I don't think we played without a bass player, but maybe we talked to him
Yeah.
about it or something, and then
I can't remember if we posted we needed one or not.
that's what it is. Because then, yeah, he came out to Hartford to practice
Okay.
in
Your brother's
like
barn?
in a chicken coop or something. Yeah, dude.
That's where
Yeah.
PBS was originated. We wrote that out there.
Yeah.
That was in Drop D on a Stratocaster. That's what.
Yeah,
wrote
that's
that.
right, dude. Yeah, that song that definitely evolved over time. But yeah, I feel like, meeting JP and Luke too and getting them in the band exposed us to some more extreme nature, I guess, in music. It's like they both opened my eyes to a lot of different extreme music that some of it took a while to grow on me, but it was like being exposed. It's like Converge. I think about you kind of getting me into them. It's like I didn't dig those guys for years. I was late to the ball game on them.
And
But-
now?
Now they're like top tier. I love that band. But it's like stuff like that, like listening to what you and JP were listening to, combined with the stuff that we were starting to get more into, kind of created a really good evolution of the band into a little bit more aggressive direction than what it was previously going towards. Don't you think?
Fair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
Pretty-
then
pretty
Luke,
accurate.
you joined the fold. You guys didn't have any recordings before Luke, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Some
You
rough
yeah,
can
we-
call them that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say anything.
So-
nope.
No.
So we can go many
Somewhere.
directions here. So we decided to be adventurous at one point and bought some like cheap Pro Tools and some cheap mics. And man, we should
think we
we
even-
should have never passed
I think
those
we even
demos
handed
out.
them out at shows.
We
It
we
was-
handed
yeah,
out a lot of those
terrible.
demos.
We weren't selling ourselves well.
No.
That.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was what you guys gave me when you asked me to join. You
Yeah.
just gave me the demo, and I
Mhm.
just remember sitting in my apartment in Kalamazoo and listening to it over and over again and like rewriting everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think when I tried out, I came in and I had like, was it 3 songs?
That sounds right.
That I think it was,
something.
what one of them was called like "Left My Wallet" in Texas. or
Yeah, I
something
lost
like
my
that.
wallet in
That's a-
Texas. Yeah,
I still love that song.
I'd bring that.
I've
I'd
never
bring,
even
I'd
heard
bring that
these.
one back.
Where are these at?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
old
dude,
Dude, that's a
I'll
fun
hook,
one.
I'll hook you up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's got some riffs in it.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
kind of
it's a groovy
Evergreen
one.
Terrace-ish.
Eat it, Evergreen
You
Terrace.
know,
Yeah, you
yeah.
I mean, definitely tell it's what we were listening to at the time.
So yeah, we tried to like self-record. That was a nightmare because like there wasn't YouTube to rely on either, like to at least kind of know what we were doing. Like we absolutely had no idea what we were doing. We're just like reading a manual, kind of, and then like hitting record, and like it was a nightmare. And then we did we record in that one old guy's barn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
live
fun. So
recording.
this dude, yeah, this
I
dude,
don't even know this.
this was with Folman not long before
I think it
you
was
were
in
with us.
Bangor, wasn't it?
It was it
Like-
was like Bangor, Hartford line,
Yeah.
and he would record country artists. That was like his thing,
Sure.
but he's cheap.
And
So
it was
we're
all
like-
live. Like
So-
everything went into the same
Yeah.
microphone, right?
And I remember Brad. He was like, "So, what do you guys want the sound to be like?" And Brad brought "Bury Your Dead." He's like, "I want the drums to sound like this." You know, like the really clicky like bass drum.
Yeah.
Guess how clicky that bass drum sounded, dude? 0% clicky.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no click in country on the kick
No,
drum, that's for
dude.
sure.
Yeah, so like that was like another one of those like, oh, you have recording equipment? Okay, like let's do it. And
yeah.
Just
then
know what you're doing.
instantly like, nope, probably shouldn't have done that one. Then we recorded in Kalamazoo. I can't remember the name of that studio.
Yeah, I think it was. I think he normally does like rap. The guy does, but that was a
Yeah.
little better. Like he had better gear.
That one
and-
turned
yeah.
out all right, like for what it was. You know, it's like for like demo purpose.
Yeah.
But we did 2 different vocalists on that. We recorded it once with Folman, and then Nate
What?
came in. Remember that, dude?
It never felt so good.
yeah. So that dude came in. He didn't last too long. I
Dude,
forget
I-
about that.
dude,
This is all
his-
coming back to me.
His last show cracked me up because he had a stage presence, but he was crazy. Like,
He kicked
he-
over Brad's amp.
yeah, his half
That
stack
night.
fell over because he was like trying to backflip off of it or something, and then I think we just left him there.
We did. Yeah.
Like, we just drove off without him because
Yeah,
Brad was that pissed off. at
Yeah,
him.
Brad was so
Nate?
mad. We're like,
Yeah.
let's go. And
So you guys
Wow.
are the original recipe then, basically, and then
Yeah.
you got
He-
Side of Slaw over here,
Yeah.
and then when
Yeah.
did Dave come in?
so you came in.
When I left,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I
Yeah.
didn't. So you guys are in the band together basically now,
yeah,
and the
Yeah.
I think we played like one
reunion.
show together because
My
Yeah.
first show we played all 3 guitars.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
had 3
Yep.
guitars.
oh
Yep.
okay.
That was
That
at
sounds
the
familiar.
Red Room. I think
Yeah,
you guys might
Kalamazoo
have
Metal
played.
Fest.
I was gonna
yeah,
say
it was the Red Room. Yeah,
I forgot about Red Room.
I think we blew the circuit and then they had to turn it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I was
Three-
there
3
Mhm.
half stacks going.
Yeah,
because I also remember playing the Red Room with Infinite Design, Lee the Butcher,
Yep.
and I believe that's when Jeff was in Eternal, and they played
Oh
there too.
yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that band.
Pretty sure the power
Yeah.
blew that night too.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I think
that, yeah.
every time a band
Yeah,
played
yeah, probably
Red
wasn't
Room.
that
equipped
place
for
was
that.
pretty messed up, like electrical wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got electrocuted there once. Too.
Oh, I'm sure you completed the
Sounds-
circuit with the mic.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
pretty
My kinda
badass for
show.
a metal show. though.
So I didn't play that show though, where there were 3 guitars then, because
no,
Yeah, it
I
would've
think it was
been-
Neil.
Yeah.
it would have been Neil.
Because I wonder if I played in Lee the Butcher that night. Because I do remember playing in Lee the Butcher, playing that show with you guys,
Yeah,
and
I
I think
remember that.
RIY was on that one too.
I'm not sure. I can't
I think.
remember.
I don't remember.
It's all a
Yeah.
blur.
Yeah, so many shows.
it's crazy, dude.
tons.
But yeah, so like Parker came in when Jason left.
And what was the reason for that, Jay?
So that was, I think it was the summer of 2007, right? So a lot happened in a very short amount of time. We recorded our EP. Some may not make it out alive. Chad had left, and then Brad subsequently left. I can't remember what order, but Brad went to Iscariot to play bass. You had left, and then I knew right around the corner that school was going to be pretty intense for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I made the decision. I was like, man, I got to kind of start fresh with new people, or I could just focus on school. And
Mhm.
so that's the route I took. So
Oh, that makes sense.
I almost tried out when Brad left, and then I helped Ian learn the set.
Yeah.
He was staying at my apartment because he lived in Grand Rapids, so he would come down to Kalamazoo, stay at my apartment. I helped him learn the set. He went and tried out, and then a couple months later, that's when you left.
Yeah,
And I
that
was
makes
like,
sense.
All right,
Heads up.
now
Might
I'm
as
coming.
well join now.
Go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys wrote some killer songs too.
Yeah, good
Like,
ones.
because when I came back, so I did Lee the Butcher for maybe a year.
Now, is that why you left the
Ish.
band?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I think about it all the time. Like, why did I really leave? And it's like there's no like inner turmoil.
Wanted to be a front man.
There was like
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
like no inner turmoil or anything like that. And it's like when I try to think about the
He's
real
like,
reason
there's
why.
enough good drummers.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Screw these guys.
Everybody's like, what the fuck?
I don't like
Chad?"
having I don't like having fun with my friends anymore.
There's
No,
enough
so-
singers, dude. Why don't you stay behind the kit there, buddy?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were a sweet singer too. Don't get me wrong,
Thanks,
but I
man.
mean, fucking breaks my heart to see a drummer grab a mic. I'm like,
Yeah, they're hard to find.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I think that's really why. I think I just wanted to dabble in something new.
Leave the Butcher
And
was
stuff.
sick though.
fucking
Yeah,
sweet.
I had a
man.
lot of fun
Dude,
in that
holy
band.
Shit.
Really good.
Yeah, like I still revisit those songs and listen to them sometimes. Just
Like-
like fun stuff. I couldn't do that anymore, for sure.
I loved when you guys put out
Um,
the demo and like the packaging to the demo was like a comic book.
oh
And
yeah,
it was like bigger
like-
than an actual case, you know? and
Yeah,
you
it
could,
was like a
open
DVD
it and
case,
read
pretty
it.
much.
Yeah,
Hey,
this shit was wild.
If anybody wants some Doritos,
oh man, it's the best.
Right up on the
I'm
mic.
gonna hit you up on that soon. Yeah, this
Uh,
dude Drew Hill did the art for that. That guy's like solid. I don't know what he's doing
Like-
now. I hope he's doing.
All
art.
the artwork was badass.
it was like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, it was like cartoony. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
But it was
cool.
like
cool.
kind of dark too.
it was
Yeah.
very
Oh,
dark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very like
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy. Like
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
much
for
like-
sure.
Yeah, that's a good. Yep.
But yeah, going
Detailed.
back to like coming back though, it's like I was happy to come back into the band and play the songs that you and Ian and Luke had written because those were fun songs too because they're
JP.
like and JP. Sorry, JP. I love you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun songs. I'm looking forward to playing them.
Yeah, they were a blast. So like coming back in and playing those was like they were a different kind of heavy than what we were doing.
Well, and you came
Just-
back and like we started gelling.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
And then we
yeah,
knocked out like 4 or 5 more songs.
Yeah, we
Like,
were
you
writing up
came.
a storm for a while, like because we had a full length's worth of music
Yeah, I was ready to go.
ready to go.
I
Like,
mean, we
R.I.P.
still do.
yeah, we still do.
Yeah.
So-
So
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, I do want to get into that and talk a little bit more
For
about
sure.
that. But you said you came back, so this is like we're not talking about right now. Or are you talking about right now?
No, like
Did you join the band?
I rejoined. Yeah.
Okay,
So like,
before it became defunct.
yeah, like
How
'cause
long
I've-
was the actual hiatus?
After her his singing vacation.
Yeah.
yeah, singing
Was it
vacation.
like a year?
Yeah, after destroying
like
my
a-
vocal cords for a little
Like a
bit.
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, year.
Yeah.
Neil
Something-
played drums.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember
Yep.
the last time that we did play with you guys or jam with you guys, you weren't on drums. It was Neil that was on drums.
The
Played at like
last time?
Popeyes.
Oh, okay.
Or Papos.
Oh, over at Papa's?
Yeah. I remember playing a
Dang.
show there.
You guys didn't play Park Theater with us after I came back?
No, we did actually.
Okay.
I was gonna
You
say,
were there?
yeah, I played.
Okay.
I think it was like
That makes
tough,
sense.
tough guy night. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Yep. I got video of that. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I was pretty sure that you guys were there, and then what was Larry's other band at that time?
He was only an Infinite Design.
He was?
That time. He
Man.
just sang.
Yeah, I
there's
don't remember.
there's
anything
another
else from
band
there.
that played there that I thought they were Muskegon guys.
I'm a plague.
Time of Plague. Who was in Time of Plague?
Yeah, Larry was in that.
Larry was-
and
didn't they
Bob.
play
But
one
that
of
was
those?
Jeremy.
before. That was before Infinite Design.
Oh, it was
'cause they were
okay.
defunct at
Yeah,
that
my
time.
timeline's all.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
messed
know.
up.
When people are like, "Yeah, that was 2006 and in March," I'm like, "How the fuck do you remember that?" My
Yeah,
brain is too
dude,
melted for all that.
It's
I'm
all
just like,
it
We
all
played
meshes
so
together.
many shows for like those 2 years solid. Like I don't even remember all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, we were doing
Hard to
3 or
timestamp those.
4 a week at some
Yeah.
points in time.
A lot.
You
a lot
know,
of shit.
so you came back in the band, and you guys were playing some shows, and then
Mhm.
that was after the recording of the Mosh Demographic, right? So
Yeah,
let's go back just a little bit before we get too far ahead of
Sounds
yourself.
good.
So you guys did some may not make it out alive. That came out in it
07.
says here in 2007.
Yeah.
Like,
Or that was 06. I do
that's
believe
where
it was
your band
06.
camp
Is that when we
was.
recorded it? 06 or?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
says released June 30th, 2007. That's where your
That's-
Bandcamp
I
says.
thought that was
Sure.
accurate.
That's right
maybe
off
that.
the CD.
Oh,
Because we had the release at Craft Brow,
Craft
right?
Brow.
Yep.
yeah, Nacho Bar.
Qdoba
We had
Nacho
a
Bar.
Nacho
Oh,
Bar.
nice.
Oh, we did. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's tight.
Yeah, so yeah, we did that at Studio D.
Yep.
That was a blast. Like, I really liked recording with those guys when we
Love
did
those
that
guys.
one.
Yeah.
They're very efficient. They got a good sound.
Yeah, like
They know what they're doing with metal. They're not like the country guy.
yeah, it was not the country guy.
Not gonna get,
And
yeah.
that's the thing about metal. When you go to record, you got to record with somebody that knows about metal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
all there is to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they have to
absolutely.
understand tone
You know,
and how
exactly.
drums should
And just
sound.
live sound as well. Like
Right.
you got to know what stands out. You got to know all that stuff. You got to
There-
have an ear for it.
There's so much that has to go into it as far as letting the highly distorted guitars fit in with the drums that are sometimes sporadic and fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Then
Oh, yeah.
somehow fit in the low end with the bass and then fit in the vocals too. You know, it's just taking up all those frequencies. So you got to have an ear for that. You got to be about that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Studio D. You guys went and recorded that there.
Yep.
I listened to this album the other day, or EP, you guys call it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny because after I listened to it, I'm like, man, I remember some of these riffs. The down, 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 down,
Oh, yeah.
that little
Yeah,
sweep
the
part or
sweep,
whatever. It's
yeah.
like I
Yeah.
remember that, like seeing that live, and then when I listened to it, I'm like, oh, that pretty cool melody and stuff. I would say this album to me though, after reflecting on it, is like metalcore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
oh,
really
for
good.
sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Very
like
unearthed.
it's very
Yeah, big,
it's
big
very
unearthed
metalcore.
metalcore. Yeah.
Yeah. With the breakdowns and all the little
The
cool
melodies.
bell work and stuff that you do in there, like the drumming's really tight. I mean, everything's really good on it. I really like it. I mean, it stands
Thank
up
you.
for a 2007
Mhm.
recording. You guys always had some of the catchy hooks too, like as far as not necessarily like a hook in the song, but like stuff that people would sing along with, you know, like the Let's Fucking Rage, or your vocal patterns on like Ted Bundy versus Peggy Bundy, where, you know, or even at Brothers at Arms at the end where you guys are doing that breakdown
Yeah.
and you guys are doing the gang
The
chant
gang
or whatever,
vocals,
you know,
My
Brothers in
life's
Arms
for
or
my
yeah,
friends.
yeah, for
Yeah.
my friends. Like you guys were always good at like kind of making sure that was sticky and people could enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, Luke was always really good at
Yeah.
coming up with those catchy parts that are memorable and get people engaged.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
I just
awesome.
always want to like leave somebody with something that they're going to be like thinking about, you know, or like hearing it in their head. Something very audible.
It's pretty cool to
Mhm.
come to a songwriting approach with the idea that you want to get your fans incorporated at the show too. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
let's
It's all
get
about
gang
that,
vocals
for
on
sure.
like 3 or 4 of these tracks, or like parts where everybody shouts that one line, the big build up to it. So that's good foresight in the songwriting process.
Thank you. It's like
Yeah.
a good give and take, like a crowd participation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember while we wrote that, I remember I was very deliberate about like I like breakdowns, but I want it to be more flowy through the song, like a breakdown that flows. That's not the part's not just a breakdown. There's
So it doesn't feel forced.
exactly
Yeah.
like I like stopping and going, but you listen to so many bands that like a lot of their songs is like, oh, we're gonna play this, we're gonna stop, and then we're gonna play this, and then we're gonna stop. Like
Riff salad.
Yeah,
I
no
like-
no
Yeah.
transitions.
I like the
Soup.
transitions
Yep.
to be
Soup.
smooth, so some thought into that. And I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
worked out well for us there. Made the songwriting a little more took a little bit longer maybe, but it turns out better, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
agree.
callbacks musically on this as well.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like almost parts that come back around. So, but yeah, still a cool album. Still holds up. You guys are playing most of the songs off of this, then I'm assuming.
All of them.
All
Okay,
those, yep.
cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
So
All
it's a
right.
good thing it still holds up.
Yeah. Get them in your ears now.
And then we move on to the Mosh Demographic. Now I know you're not on this, Chad, right?
No, I'm not.
And
No.
now tell me a little bit about this album. Well,
I'm out.
Jason,
I'm
you're not on it either,
no,
are you?
no,
Right?
it's Parker.
So then from playing with you guys, I noticed the shift, kind of from like the more metalcore, and then almost the second part of the band when Neil was in the band, it almost kind of went to more of a I don't want to say hardcore, but there was more. It seemed like a little more two steps, a little more breakdown, a little more kind of like low end type of stuff. Not as much of the busy, like kind of more guitar work. Whereas I felt that's kind of what you landed with, like kind of the sweeps and the more metalcore type style. Then it kind of came to a lower. Does that seem fair that I'm assessing it like that?
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Okay.
When we were writing these songs, Amur, Acacia Strain, For the Fallen Dreams, Recon,
bands like that.
that's kind of what the vibe we were, it
Kind of
wasn't,
going for, yeah.
yeah, it wasn't necessarily hardcore. It was just like chugging.
Hard.
Yeah, just hard.
Hard. Yeah.
Mosh.
Still a lot of flow, like and the comebacks are still there, so a lot of similarities.
Yeah, very good songs. I like this one too. I mean, Surgeon Waters, that was a really heavy ass like intro on that. Tell me a little bit about this album then, Dave or Luke, like how this was approached, definitely with a different drummer. I can tell, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, but I can tell that Chad wasn't honest drum-wise.
It is a different style of
yeah,
drumming.
it's
for
just a
sure.
different style of
Yeah.
drumming. You can tell that it's two totally different
Yeah,
drummers.
it's-
Not
it's-
that there was anything wrong with this. I just could
Right.
tell from Chad's style compared to this style is different.
And
you know?
it's like, I mean, it's even fair to say, like, between Some May Not Make It All Alive and the Mosh Demographic, it's technically two different bands.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just me and JP that are the same on both. It's
yeah.
you, Ian, and Neil replaced Chad, Brad, and Jason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, JP
Yeah.
didn't record this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
did the bass
I
parts. didn't you?
recorded all the bass.
Oh,
We didn't
okay.
have
Wow.
we didn't have
I
a
didn't
bass
know that.
player.
Yeah,
I
we've
forgot
had a
about that.
lot of different bass players
We did have
over
a
the
lot
years
of different
in
bass
a
players.
one period of time.
Yes.
Fucking bass players.
I forgot all about that.
There was some
Yeah.
cool bass player stories, wasn't there? Like,
We had
Yeah,
had some crazy
We
bass
can
players.
get to bass player
That
stories
should
later.
stay back in 2008, probably.
oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to disclose, but this will be online, so I don't know. Whatever you want to say is fine.
It's permanent.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Doesn't
when
go
we
off.
were recording the Mosh Demographic, when we were writing it, we just wanted to write hard songs that people could move to.
Yeah.
People would, sing along, have those parts.
I don't
It was
remember.
fun.
I don't remember why JP left, but I feel like he heard the new songs and he's like, "Yeah, I want back in."
I don't know. We would have
Right?
to ask him.
Well, I mean, I
we were
can
happy
remember
to have him back.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
JP's awesome, dude.
I cannot
Great dude.
remember why he left either.
Mm-mm.
I know for a while he left because he had to have hernia surgery.
He's like, I can't lug this big bass around my hernia.
That's the exchange.
Should have been a
Yep.
singer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean-
exactly. I'm going to sing somewhere else. I'm out here.
I heard Lee the Butcher needs a singer.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Well, dude, thinking about when these songs came out, though, it's like I remember when you guys put out Rage, like, I think it's
That
still
was tight,
MySpace was going on. I heard it. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, like this is tight. Like, I don't know. It was one of those like
Thanks,
eye-opening
buddy.
things where I'm like, oh, dang, like these are some pretty killer songs.
Yeah,
you know?
I just have to go on record to say I had that Rage shit before Attila did.
Oh yeah,
Dude, yeah, you did. Yeah, you were way ahead of them.
This was
Yeah.
like
yeah.
the time too where like cool intros weren't necessarily a thing yet. I feel like
Yeah, they were
it was
starting to
just
pop
it was
off.
just kind of starting to kick off.
Yeah,
I think we kind of did we get the idea from Doombringer?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Maybe.
Yeah, because they had a killer intro.
That's
Yeah.
like,
They're like we
Bring
need,
the fucking doom.
yeah,
we
that one
need
is killer.
something like that because it really just set off the set.
And it's like Acacia Strain had Car Bomb, just like one of the heaviest intro tracks ever.
Yeah, it's a great
That's
one.
great. Yeah.
So this, now, where did you record this at? This wasn't the Odies,
It was.
Yep.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. That's strange. The only reason why I say that is because it sounds completely different. Like, it doesn't sound like an Odie recording to me, and it sounds completely different than any other, because they kind of have a sound to the recordings. Like, if you
True.
listen to the first Reinventing, that's kind of like the Odie sound. It's stamped on there. Then if you listen to, like, a Kill Tomorrow that recorded with the Odies, it's kind of the same Odie sound stamped on there.
Mhm.
This one isn't like that. This one seems like it's more live. It's more, it's
Yeah.
not as, like, it, like, doesn't seem like there's a lot of editing to it. Seems like there's like a whole different approach on their end.
I'm pretty sure we went into it for the purpose of like just a demo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where the
If I remember
Demographic
correctly.
came in, it
Oh,
was-
Yeah,
okay.
like demo/graphic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the concept.
Yeah.
We
I-
just had
yeah, I
new
don't
songs
think-
with a new lineup, and we were like, we need to get some
We need
recordings
something
with
out
this.
there. Yeah.
This
Okay.
lineup.
So you just went in and recorded these 3.5 songs, I guess, and
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
3.5 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was with the intention of putting out something quick. Like we didn't want to spend a ton of time on it.
yeah.
That's fair.
I do remember distinctly at this time too the difference in the band, because when we played with you guys were doing the crab and the running man
Yeah.
and all that shit, and I was like, these motherfuckers got some cardio, because I was trying to throw it down, but these guys are just jogging for 43 minutes. I'm like, God damn, dude, how the fuck? Like, what the hell?
Got to be active, man.
So-
Keep that heart rate up.
That was the
Jogging
time,
in
you know?
place and shit.
It was cool back
Yeah,
then.
it was.
It
like
was that time.
Yeah,
Can
the
you guys-
asking Alexandria,
Crabcore?
like, yeah, crabcore, and the
Will
running.
we be bringing that same
Basketball
stage
shorts.
energy?
yeah,
Yeah, it
That
had
same
to have
energy,
basketball
but no
shorts.
jogging in place.
Oh,
There will be
okay.
no jogging in
Oh,
place.
don't speak too soon.
Yeah. Hey, that cardio might still be there after all that, from
Yeah.
the earlier days. Okay, so tell me what happened after the Mosh Demographic then. That was you guys' last recorded with the Odies, and then
Then
We were playing tons of shows.
tons.
Chad came back.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Writing
sense.
process kind of took off.
We wrote a literally a full length album. That
All
we
new
never-
stuff that's not even recorded, that's not even available.
The
Yeah.
songs on the demo plus 6 or 7 others.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Some
Yeah.
of which we're not
Never
bringing
recorded.
back.
Yep.
There's a couple of them we're not even playing.
No.
Now, Jason, you
Um,
weren't in the band at this time when Chad came back.
No,
Okay.
you were at school.
I
cool.
think you filled in on bass at one time.
Yeah, you
Oh,
filled
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was without me. I wasn't.
Jason
I
and I-
wish I was there for that, because
Oh,
that sounded like a
we,
great
We
time.
tore it up.
Yeah, we played that show, and me and you got real drunk
Yeah.
on like
It was
$2
bad.
pitchers.
Which one? What
in
was it?
Mount Pleasant, I think. We played with like
The night that-
Suicide
The night he
Machines
forgot his
band.
bag at the venue, and then we spent
Surprise, surprise.
all night. Like we got back to Muskegon at like 6 a.m, I think. From where did we play? Where was it at?
Mount Pleasant. And because I think the next day we played the Ice Pick or something like that.
The Ice Pick, and then I think we played a library too, right? One of those.
Or no, Fruitport Library.
Oh,
it
Fruitport
was.
Library, yeah. I felt like we played there too. Infinite played there.
I
Yeah,
played
did
a show
stuff, I
there.
did stuff like that, but I was not part of the writing process. That was like, hey, could you fill in for the weekend because
Oh,
JP's
yeah.
out? And
Yeah.
Because he already knew the songs.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I may have played all my guitar parts on the bass. It
Probably.
probably sounded like shit too. 'Cause I was drunk.
At the time, it sounded great. Though.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was all right. But
Hey, we
Yeah.
needed a
Bass.
bass player to chug the opens,
Yeah.
hit
yeah.
the breakdowns.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
it's
just
it's
was fun.
bass.
yeah,
Let's
chug
be
the open,
realistic.
buddy. Yeah. I'm in that field sometimes. Just chug it up.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
yeah, that was fun.
Modd's like, fuck that bass solo.
That's when you
It's
want
like-
those guitar skills on the bass.
Yeah,
For sure.
bass solo.
Not everybody can be as good as Mod.
All right, so y'all got
Settle
six.
down.
Y'all got 6 songs plus the ones that were on the demographic.
And
Yes.
a couple more, yeah, for the live
Mhm.
show.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
A
A lot of writing. A
lot
of
of
playing.
writing, and we fucking broke up.
Yeah. We played hard and frequent for quite a while.
We were burning it at both ends. for
Wrote a
sure.
lot.
And
like
it was
we
like
gelled.
a planned thing, right? Like we had our last show. Like
Yeah.
we're like, hey, we're gonna call it quits. Here's our last show. He came back. He played
Played-
all
yeah.
the older stuff. Also
Brad-
Make Out Alive on guitar.
Brad
Okay.
came back
So
too.
him and Ian would like
Later.
change off.
Later,
Okay.
a different one.
That's right. Brad wasn't at that last one.
Oh.
Yeah, because we did do another reunion show.
That was just the EP.
Very, very small. Yeah, we only played the.
That's right. Yep, there's where they all
And then
things are crossing paths here.
so you guys just life was taking you all different directions, and basically guys were like, it's just good to leave it where it lie. Then
Yeah, I think it'd kind of run its course, and we'd been pretty hard at it for quite a while, I guess.
Yeah, it was a bummer because
You know-
we never recorded those songs.
Yeah, but then like looking back, it's like, dang, we should have stuck with it for
At
a
least
while
little
longer because
yeah.
being older now too, it's like, dang, I think about playing shows all the time. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a daily thought where I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that show was a lot of fun.
yeah,
just like reminiscing. It's like, man, should have done a little longer.
We talk about that a lot on the show. Is like you kind of get bit by that snake, and that venom might, subside for a little while, and those symptoms might go away for a little bit, but you might just be sitting there alone one day in an extra introspective thought, and all of a sudden you're like, shit, I need to play music or something.
Yeah, dude, yeah,
it doesn't
for
go
sure.
away. It's kind of like once you got the music bug and you're a musician, it's just one of those things where you could be in the back of your mind telling yourself subconsciously, I'm cool, I don't need to get on stage. But then, like, something happens, and you're just like, nah, who the fuck am I fooling? I want to play some music. Like,
yeah, dude, exactly.
Every time I go to a show.
Yeah, for sure.
Same.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This whole reunion has done that to me. I didn't play for a long time, and after we got together for our first practice, I left there, and I was like, I was on a high.
The juice,
I was like, it's back, baby.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Same thing.
Went and
'cause
bought
it's-
all new gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like went and bought a whole new rig, new
That's
guitar,
sick, dude.
like, and you've got some killer stuff too. Like that sounds good too.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
That guitar's
awesome.
tight too. Yeah.
It's when Chad, you threw the idea out, right, to play a show.
I was thinking about this on the drive today, and it's like, man, I think that it had been loosely thrown out there by one or more of us over the years, and then it'd be like, hey, we should do a show. Ha, no, and then like shut down because I don't think any of us ever really thought we were gonna play these songs again.
Yeah,
And
I
then the
didn't.
last time I think I sent out the text like, hey, we should do this thing.
It
everyone's like,
it was
I'm
more
in.
deliberate. It was
I'm
like,
in.
all right, guys, let's do it. And it's like, fuck it, let's do
Yeah,
it.
it's time, and then everybody was on board
And
pretty easily. It seemed like we didn't have to I don't know,
I felt
convince
like you
anybody.
guys had to work on me for a little while.
Maybe a little bit.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Luke was vehemently like, "Yeah, I don't want to play. I don't want to scream. It's been so long, That I will say it's a little different. It's easy to pick up the guitar or kind of easy to go jam on the drum set, but like if you haven't screamed in 15 years, it's a lot. It's
Yeah,
like
dude,
that's
for
daunting.
sure.
Like,
It is.
Nick and I took 1 year off and then tried to record an album, and we're like, "What the fuck are we doing?" Like, that was 1 year without doing vocals. Like I couldn't imagine 15. So
I got the text from JP like, hey, would you be interested in doing a reunion show? I hadn't played guitar in 14, 15 years.
oh no shit.
I
dude.
had no gear. I was working with former Necrium guitar player Wade,
okay.
and I told him, and he was like, do you want to borrow a guitar? And like, so I borrowed some stuff from him, and I was like, I gotta see if I can even do this. And,
It's like riding a bike.
I got his gear and like started, playing a little bit, and then I started playing along, and all the songs started coming back, and I was like, I got this. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of gear
Yeah.
and like make my wife upset.
You can't really tell you haven't played though. Like,
No, dude.
playing
Yeah,
just fine.
I couldn't.
When we're playing, it's like, I don't know, we're back. The
we
songs
never
sound
quit.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After that
songs sound
first practice, I
awesome.
was like, felt like we were just jamming 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Up until that point, I was still like, man, I don't know if I really want to do this because I had just bought a mountain bike and I got big into that this year, and that was my goal. Was like that's going to be my focus, But then, like Parker, after the first jam session, I was like, damn, that is cool. Like I
Yeah.
missed that, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
It was fun. So.
So, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I
buddy.
was gonna ask, did that then turn into like a bunch of practice time at home? Like I had one practice with the band, and now like every day, as soon as I get a chance, I'm sitting down and strapping on the guitar.
Yeah,
A lot of hours have gone into the
putting in the work at home.
yeah.
Learning all the songs, just getting my chops back under me. A lot of it is like weekend mornings when everyone's still sleeping. I'm up
Okay.
at like 6. I go down to the basement,
Yeah.
and like I'm just jamming out the set 2 times. Then I like
Make breakfast.
yeah later, but yeah, it's just like initially I started just jamming along with the albums I used to jam along with, like Changes album. Just like getting my
So what would you say it replaced in your daily routine, or how did you make space for that after it being gone for like 14, 15 years? How did your day-to-day change? What did you sacrifice or give up? Or
I quit going to the gym because I
Okay.
used to go to the gym in the morning, and now
Yeah.
I wake up and play guitar.
Okay.
That's why you gotta start jogging when you're playing, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
the running man.
my life is busy like everyone's. I
Yeah,
got a
sure.
wife and kids, and so like I sneak it in when I can,
yeah.
and That's the weekend, early AM when
Okay.
people are still sleeping is like
Yeah.
prime time.
I know that as we get into the family life in your 40s, it's like that. It's hard to find that kind of time. I feel guilty about even asking, like, "Hey, do you mind if I just y'all are doing your thing? Can I dip?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, dude.
Totally.
Oh, you asked?
I asked. I'm like, is it
I'm
cool?
like,
I know it's a yes every time. Go ahead.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it still feels like I'm dipping out on the family. So
Like, if they're busy, I'm going to write some music. See you.
yeah,
Bye.
just slide out with the shadows.
You sneak away when she goes to the bathroom.
Just for 2 minutes, I got like
Just go do some sick sweeps.
Go
2 notes of
play
a riff down.
You know,
and
write
like,
a grindcore song real fast.
Yeah, exactly. So how long was it? 15 years then? Like, was it 2010 when you guys were done then?
Since we played.
Must have been
Or
somewhere right around there.
09, I think was
Yeah, I
it,
think
or
the
08.
final show was in 09,
That sounds right.
right?
Yeah, because
August.
the Mosh
Yeah.
Demographic says it came out in January 09.
So yeah, the last show would have been 09.
Yeah,
Okay.
it had to have been.
So 15 years.
Yep.
Really? Was it 09? Is
Yeah,
that
had
that
to have
short
been.
after that came out? Dang. That's crazy, man.
Something about
That's
recording.
wild.
All right, so tell me a little bit. I know the logistics are crazy. Tell me a little bit how you guys have made band practices work in order to pull this reunion show off.
Oh, it's been fun. So we've been practicing at Jason's place out in Richland, which is like near
We did that once.
Kalamazoo, yeah.
Alfonso's
JP's
let
once.
us.
Yeah, from
JP's
Heartsick.
once,
He's let us play at his place
Couple
out in
times.
Lansing a couple times, which like that's super helpful because that's
Yeah.
only
So
about an
helpful.
hour for
Very.
me.
That
Super,
dude
you know,
rules.
super nice of him, man. Just to
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
us.
Alfonso's
Yeah.
awesome. Dude.
He is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, he just lends us his garage space and lets us do our thing and make some noise. It's awesome.
It's
like,
nice too practicing out there because, well, I mean, all of us have to drive, unless we practice in Kalamazoo. But in Lansing, it's kind of centrally located so that it's not as far for Chad since he's all the way out on the east side.
Right.
Yeah, and that practicing at JP's works too. Like we've done that a couple of times, but it's like how often? I don't know, once, twice a month,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. We've been
Scheduling
getting
is
together.
difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
really
Just like
tough.
Aligning everyone
family
on like
stuff.
It's not easy
a
at all.
day.
All
And you-
five of
and
us
you
have
work
kids.
Saturdays a lot, right?
I mean,
like for a
I
while
haven't
you
lately,
were.
but for
Yeah.
initially I was working Saturdays, so
So yeah, it was tough, but I mean, it just shows that we want it.
Parker and I have gotten together to rehash some guitar work as
Yeah.
well. So,
Okay.
So that helps when work out those details. That way the band doesn't have to suffer through us
Yeah,
figuring our
we're-
stuff out.
Yeah,
not
there's-
at practice trying. Is this you? Is this me?
Yeah,
we like
exactly.
got together alone and went through all the set. And
Yeah.
Good.
And the
That's-
nice thing,
that's the way to
too-
do it.
The nice
Well-
thing with rehearsal too is like obviously we're all putting in the time on our own time too, because it's like for me it's like it's great to practice with the crew, but I can put in work on my own too, which I need to do because those songs, like I recorded that first EP when I was 20, something like that. I was a much younger guy, so it's like I've got to do my homework to keep up. Like I had to build it back up too, because playing like classic songs or whatever, if you're
Motown
still playing,
covers.
you can pick up an instrument and play that stuff. But like this stuff, it's like there's stamina involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of muscle memory involved. So, I think all of us have been doing a lot of our homework, and it shows at the practice because it's like I don't know, everybody knows their part and knows how to nail it.
So
Well,
how,
So
for me, like I took over for Jason, so when he left, I played all his riffs.
okay.
Like so, I was doing his part, and then Ian was the other guitar player. So now he's back. When we do the old stuff, I had to go back and learn Ian's parts because he's taking his parts back. So it was even a little bit more learning for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
'Cause-
sense.
I was used to playing all his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chad, so were you playing drums then?
yeah, I've pretty
Like
much.
you
I mean,
Pep up on the chops at least a little bit.
yeah, mostly. There was a
Okay.
period in time shortly after I'd moved to Frankenmuth. We were living in an apartment, so the drums sat in a closet for a few years, which was tough. But it's like I don't know. It was almost like a healthy break.
Yeah.
Like the thing that I loved so much was put away. Like I kept them because I knew they were going to come back. But it's like I don't know. I knew when it was time to start busting them out again,
Yeah.
and then I just never stopped
Yeah.
again. It's like I don't know. it's my favorite thing to do in terms of hobbies, you know. So it's like it's not work to do my homework on the drum parts.
Yeah.
It's like something I
Chad
look
liked
forward
drums.
to.
Chad liked
Chad does like
Chad
drums.
like drums.
But yeah, I mean, after we were done too, it was like I was playing in a Motown cover band.
Oh, yeah.
I played
Yeah.
in a band called Protected Left with a couple great dudes too. So it's like I was still playing after Reinventing Yesterday, but there's like a slight break. But then now it's like I still play almost every day.
So that makes me
So-
curious, if you're a drummer living in an apartment complex, how does one go about?
So that was the tricky part. So like if I knew, so I was in like a really small apartment complex when I
Right.
first moved. So it's like if I knew everybody else was gone, like, or if I, you know, it's like you kind of
Oh.
roll the dice a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
am I going to get in trouble here?
Yeah.
So it's like if I knew there were no cars out in the parking lot, it's like I'm gonna set these things up in the living room real quick and
Yeah.
like
Wow.
play some really aggressive stuff for 10 minutes or whatever, you
Some
know.
blast
So that's like
beats.
where I was getting it. But then once we got our house though, it's like then I had a
Yeah.
spot, you know, it's like I could just go play anytime.
Yeah.
So then once that happened, it's like I don't know, I play hours a day some days, you
Well,
know.
playing Motown and then coming back to playing the double bass, that's a different.
That's
piece right
easier
there.
than going from the double bass to the Motown because my buddy Ron, who I was playing the Motown stuff with, he was the singer. I showed up there to like just try out kind of, and I didn't know any of these guys, and he's like, "You sound great. Less metal though."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm sorry, dude. It's like it's all I know,
It's
man.
in
Like
me."
I only know how to hit hard and fast.
Cut
Like
back would
but-
be tough.
but then I learned like dynamics through playing that stuff because it's
Yeah.
like I never needed to know a lot of dynamic drumming,
Yeah.
you know, with what I was playing. It's like we were balls to the wall with everything, you know.
Groove and mosh.
So it's like so it's like through that I became a better drummer too from playing really easy songs,
Yeah.
Hell
you
yeah.
know. So it was like a pretty cool thing.
All right. Well, let's talk about this show then.
Sick.
Let's buy
So-
tickets, people.
That's
Yeah.
kind
Buy
of
some
where
tickets.
that's kind of where we're at with our timeline here. Black Friday,
Mm-hmm.
which is November
29th.
29.
29th. Okay. Cool. With Dice.
Mhm.
So
The
Dice
homies.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
Dice was just here yesterday, day before.
Friday.
Yeah,
2
Friday.
days ago.
And we talked a little bit about that with them. And then Mouthful of Locusts, the homies.
Yep.
And
Good
Snake
dudes.
Out.
Good
Yep.
dudes.
Also homies.
Yep.
Also homies.
So
Really good lineup.
yeah, tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about why you picked the lineup and what the show's going to look like and how it all came about.
Yeah, Dies was an obvious.
Dies
Yeah.
was obvious. They were first. Immediately when we talked about coming back, we talked about like who should we have on the show, and Dies was immediate just because they're awesome.
We go way
And-
back.
and
Yeah,
they're
they go
Yeah.
way
they
back.
kind of did it too, right? So,
Yeah.
What's that?
like I felt like they kind of inspired us.
Yeah, they did. I
Like,
mean,
yeah,
with,
oh,
with
for sure.
doing the
Yeah.
reunion with them, the way they did it, we were like, these guys know how to do it. They know what it means. Like, let's get them on the show. And from there, I don't know. We just kind of picked bands that we thought fit.
And
Well,
then we
yeah.
listened to Snake Out.
I
and we're
discovered,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the
like-
snake out thing was funny.
Me and him
because
were like, these guys are great. They got to be on the bill.
Yeah.
they're
I think we-
texting me every day, like, "Hey, you know these guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
talk to them." And I'm like, "I'll talk to them. Hold on." And like the next day, they'd be like, "Do you talk to Snake Out yet?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'll talk to him." The next day, "Hey, man, what'd they say?" I'm like, "Dude, I'll
Yeah,
get-"
Jason and Parker want to make out with Snake Out.
They do.
Make out with
Someone-
Snake Out.
Straight
I think
up.
Someone
like
would throw out
half
another
the
band.
views came from the two of us, probably.
Yeah, the
Like some-
Spotify streams were probably responsible for 50%. But like when we were going over this, someone would throw out a band, and me and him be like, "Yeah, but Snake Out."
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
literally
true.
every time. We should see how many times Snake Out's name was referenced in
the
our
group
text thread.
group
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, like it would come up all the time. Like,
So that was an obvious
Regular.
one after listening to them. It's like,
yeah, they're
they've
great.
got to play.
They're
and
awesome.
plus, like, we wanted the lineup to be somewhat diverse, not just all super heavy metal, but stuff that, because I mean, we've 15 years, we've acquired a lot of friends, different backgrounds. So when people show up to the show, we want a variation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
that makes sense.
And they're a great fit. They write really good songs, pretty short but catchy. They got hooks. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty obvious for us. And then the hardest one was to find a local band because when we went through the list of Kalamazoo bands, I mean, there's a decent amount. So it's like we definitely
There's
want a local
tons.
group.
Yeah.
And we're friends with like a
A
ton
lot
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, how do we just pick one?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it wasn't easy.
So that probably took the longest. to
Yeah.
find
Well, it's
out,
like
but-
I'd seen Mouthful of Locusts a handful of times over the last couple of years, and I think those guys sound great live too. So it's like that was a big sell for me, like because I've seen those dudes do what they do, and they're intense and
They're
they're
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Perry's
I've never
such
seen
a
him, so I'm
Perry's
I'm
awesome
excited to see
frontman,
him.
Yeah.
you know. So
Very sweet. Yeah, well, because the original idea was to do something up here in Muskegon, because I know it was supposed to
Yep.
be us, Dies,
The,
and you guys.
was
that
it Unruly?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it at Unruly,
Yep.
mm,
and then that was actually supposed to be the same day
I think the next day.
or the next day.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Saturday.
the
the
30th.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the Bell Show came about.
That came about because I think it was Dane
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, we can get bells on Black Friday. Here's the bad, or we can get bells. Here's the bad news. It's Black Friday, the day before we're supposed to play in Muskegon. What do you want to do?" And that I think as when I came over here and I was like, "Hey, I got bad news," and you guys thought I had cancer or something.
Oh, I thought, I couldn't remember. Sean was like, "Are you going to tell me you're having a baby or something?"
Yeah,
I don't
Shauna
know.
like looked like. I felt bad for
Yeah.
that.
It's all good. I wanted to just jam with you guys, for nostalgia's sake. I thought a sweet show would be like Tongue Cutter, us, you guys, and Dies would be a sweet show, because that would be like the OG legendary homies
Let's-
right there.
Let's make it happen.
That would be the show. I was talking to B-Man yesterday, and there's a date thrown out about something, but I have more questions to ask you before we get that far. so-
Sounds good.
cool. Yeah.
Thanks for keeping us on track.
But yeah, so you guys got the show Black Friday. We got tickets available.
Tickets
Yes.
available. Yeah, 15
Buy them.
in
15,
advance.
yep.
You can get them
Nice.
at the if you're local to Kalamazoo too. You can go buy them at the store, and you won't get charged fees.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
I
the
noticed
other
with the fees, it's like the same price as buying it at the door.
Yeah,
after the
pretty
fees.
much. Yeah. So yeah, if you're local, it's an easy way to go get a cheaper ticket and be good to go.
Have a beer at Bell's.
the important thing, the Kalamazoo show is more than just a reunion of our band, right?
True.
It's a reunion of people from
Yeah.
the scene back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
tons of people are still around. People are going to be traveling back. So it's going to be cool to just like see a bunch of people that we used to like hang with all the time.
all the time.
The
Yeah.
the Rage crew.
Yeah,
Yep.
KRC.
And they all have some of this now, this gray shit going on down
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yes, yes, we do.
Except Chad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except Chad.
they're there, man.
I was gonna say, it won't be long, Chad.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. You'll join the rest. The rest of the silver foxes running around.
Yeah, that's what we are.
So, now tell me what's next then. I mean, as far as, is there more shows? So at first, obviously I talk to Luke all the time, but, at first there was an idea of multiple shows, and then I know we're doing one show only. That's basically how this is being.
As of right now, it's a
Presented.
one-time only
Yeah, there's
type
no
deal
other-
because the future's kind of unknown.
I mean, the other thing we talked about was a secret show, right? Where we come up, play with you guys, but we don't promote it. Like no one knows we're playing. We just show up and like a little warm up set for us, but like not.
So
It's
go to
just
local
been
shows,
hard
people.
to-
You might get
You might
lucky,
catch
and
us,
you
yeah.
might find yourself figuring out the secret.
Logistically, it's just been hard to kind of make it happen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
You gotta
challenge.
find the right show, and people have got to be cool with us not promoting it too, right? When you're in a local
And they gotta
band.
Cool with a bunch of old dudes crashing a bunch of young dudes' sets.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, we might be beyond that at this point. I don't
Right.
know. Date.
Because it's getting so
Time-
close.
yeah.
Yeah, we're creeping
But
up on it.
That was the original
for sure.
idea. Go do a 30-minute set, shake the rust off before the Kazoo Bells show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. All the nostalgia and all the, like I said, we'll get some good footage and we'll get some good content out of it. So, and then I'd love to come down and hang out with you guys for the day or whatever.
Yeah,
If
man.
I
We'd love
gotta
to
take
have
the
you.
day
Sweet.
off or
Be fun.
take a half day or something, and I'll come out. And
I'd
hang
like
out
to
with
get down
y'all.
there. I miss Kalamazoo. I used to live down there for a few years.
For sure.
I caught you guys down at the corner
Corner
bar.
Corner bar.
bar.
Oh man, we were talking about that
earlier.
Quite a
Yeah.
few shows there. I'd like to get myself some Belly's Pizza out on Stadium if they're still in
Ooh.
operation.
There's a couple of them,
They
yeah.
are.
Yeah, the one on Stadium is my bag though.
Stadium's a good one,
Yeah.
I think.
Nice place. So
Mm.
Kalamazoo, good town. Miss
So,
it.
so you don't know what the future holds then?
No, it's kind of a big question mark. I mean,
Yeah.
this one looks like it's probably a one-time deal, but
We're
you
just-
never know.
at
You
this
know,
point,
you never
we're
know
just-
what's gonna happen.
We're just focusing on pulling this off, making sure we sound good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
we'll figure it out.
And then go from there.
Yeah.
Promoting it, make sure it's going to be a fun night, memorable one, and
yeah,
playing great.
we're
That's-
definitely putting a lot into
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
at some point, I know before the show you were talking about possibly wanting to record them songs that never seen the
Yep.
light of day.
yeah, that's still part of the conversation because we've got. There's two of the songs that we had written after Mosh Demographic. That are just, I think they're great songs, and it's kind of a
Yeah,
shame we never got to
bangers.
record them. So now
But-
it's like, hey, we need to get these ones like, we need to get them down,
Well, I
and
think-
get
Get
them
record.
tracked.
We have 2 songs we're gonna play
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna
Yeah.
play
You're
those.
gonna play them
that we never
Okay.
recorded.
Nice.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah, and they're like two of our
They're
like
good.
really strong songs. They're just great songs.
I
That,
love both those songs.
yeah, they're fantastic. So
Yeah, they're going to
so
stand out.
hopefully that's still in the cards. We still talk about recording and tracking. But it's another one of those logistic things where it's like, how do we all get in the same room? And when we're all traveling, it's like the priority is rehearsal.
Yeah.
Like if we're all
Yeah.
going to be driving from all over the place, we want to rehearse and sound tight. We'd be losing a
Yeah.
rehearsal day.
Shows
If we're
the
tracking.
show's priority.
Yeah, the show
Having
and
our
being ready
set
for
tight and sounding good.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, so like those songs, hopefully they still get tracked sometime.
We'll see.
Like I think it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of
I feel like you guys got the
You know, if we
Time.
were more hip with the whole like, hey, I'm gonna record my stuff at home and send it to you, and then you can record your track. But like, we're not
Yeah.
that tech savvy.
Yeah.
to do
yeah.
that.
It might sound a bit like in 2005.
Yeah.
In
When-
the barn.
It might, or Brad's living room. It
Yeah,
might,
true.
might sound
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens though, man.
Yeah.
You got the hard part out of the way. You got everybody working together right now.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
talked about that. Like, if we were this organized
Back then.
back when we were trying to do the thing,
Right.
it could be a different ball game. Like we're working together, like all hands on deck kind of stuff. Everyone's like doing their part, communicating
I mean,
a lot,
to be in a band and get one show on the books and be able to promote it makes me feel like you've kind of arrived. And now that you're here, don't you? There's got to be like a feeling like, yeah, that was, especially after the show. I'm just looking ahead to the future. Like that was really awesome. Let's do it again. Like you guys got to maybe be feeling that sort of excitement. Like if we can do one, we can do a dozen. Like there's got to be that little bit of greed in the back of the mind. Like let's do this. Let's
Maybe, but we don't want anyone thinking they can catch us later. This
Sure.
is it.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
This
Fair.
That
this
makes
show is
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right now, it's just the one.
Right
I'm just
now,
trying
yeah.
to push for more, but
Yeah.
that's my
Un-
job over here. I'm always trying to get some more out of the band.
Under promise, over deliver. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
Well, it's like you said, Jay. It's like you get bit,
yeah.
and then you're
Yeah.
like, ooh, I need more of that,
Yeah. And none of you guys have had that bite in a while that you're on stage in front of a bunch of people either, especially if they're
No.
singing your songs. Then you'd be like, that juice is really going to be flowing after that. And you're going to have to fucking,
Cup runneth
yeah,
over.
all the wives are going to be questioning your lives after that. You're going to where again? Practice again? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I think it's safe to say like sounding good is the most important thing. Like for us at this show, right? Because
Yeah.
like that's why we are paying a sound man. We're bringing our own sound man to Bells.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, we
Never
didn't
would've
care who
thought
the
that.
sound man
Dude,
was.
you'd
We
play
just
through
showed
some
up.
shitty 15s
Yeah.
and a fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing would be Mike but
Yeah.
the vocals. That's it.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
You know?
Addison's doing sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Doc's the
Mhm.
shit.
Like we're hiring a light guy.
Yeah,
We're
there's a
hiring,
light
hiring a
guy.
guy
Light
to
guy.
move lights.
Who's doing that?
Dane's hooking us up with
Yeah.
one of
Oh,
his
okay.
buddies.
Dane
Okay.
got that set up.
Yeah.
Probably a guy through 20 Monroe or something.
Yeah,
I think
or-
so.
Stagehand.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've got
Nice.
some little surprises and stuff in
Cool.
store too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not just your regular.
Not your run of the mill
Show.
ROI set.
Yep.
Someone said Jake Paul's going to come out, start throwing out Prime.
I didn't know about that one. I'm pumped
Splashing it
now.
on everybody.
Yeah.
Dressed in a giant Prime costume.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Prime.
Oh man, that's fun to imagine. That's fantastic.
So how long will the set be that night?
We're like,
Like
creeping up on 45,
45 minutes.
Okay.
45.
somewhere
40,
around there.
45.
Yeah.
Like we cut some songs to get to that.
Yeah.
And we've got it very planned out what songs are transitioning, which ones will stop in between. So we've got it dialed down pretty well. But now
Too
it's just a
much.
matter of
Don't give him too much, Jay.
repetitive.
Well, I
Now,
think-
now it's all 7 strings though. Like you guys always played 7 strings. You
I
or
don't-
did you play 8?
Oh, I play a 6-string. Always
Oh,
have.
no shit?
I've always played a 6-string.
Okay.
I got a 6-string tuned down to B flat,
Okay.
Yeah.
playing on
That-
some
No shit.
57s.
I'm on a 7.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew
It
you
was-
played the 7 and we talked about
was-
that at the beginning of the show, but for some reason I thought Parker that you played 7s too for
No,
some reason.
I mean I
Yeah.
tuned my 6 like a 7
Yeah.
from the low string.
I actually had to tune my the 6 strings on my 7 up a half step since we decided to go to B flat. So I drop tuned my B string to a B flat, but I had to tune everything else up. It was never had to do something like that before. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
The-
when I joined, you guys
A.
were doing drop A,
Yeah.
and then me and Ian, we were both on 6 strings, and we tuned up to B flat. We just thought it sounded a little more crisper because we weren't playing 7 strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when we first started playing and I'm playing at home, I tuned to A for the EP, and then I started playing along with YouTube, the reunion or the farewell show. And I was like, something's wrong. Then I was like, oh, we tuned up to B flat.
Mm.
So I still think it sounds a little bit crisper
Yeah.
for me.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sounds good.
You don't want to get too floppy with them low tunings, especially on a 6, because pretty soon you're just gonna be flubbing, and there's not gonna there
Yeah.
won't be nothing there. You
Yeah.
know, so hell yeah, that's cool as hell, man. Well, I want to know what you guys like to do outside of doing music. What are
Too-
some of your hobbies that you like to do outside of music?
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain biking and weightlifting are in the room, as far as I know. Yeah.
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 I like woodworking a lot, playing
Oh.
guitar. Yeah, there needs to be like 30 hours in a day, man,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Yeah,
feel
you're
that.
on the mountain bike a lot.
Yeah.
Are you doing trails like
Just-
off trails or just bike paths or?
Just trails.
Yeah.
There's like 3 decent trails within a 20-minute range from where I live. Nothing crazy, but it's good cardio, keeps me in shape, and it's running. That ship has sailed. You know, my legs aren't built for it, so this is a perfect outlet. So, I went and visited about a year ago. A good buddy of mine, also a drummer. He lives out in Arizona. He played for Their Teeth.
Okay.
Remember Their Teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Gigante. Went and visited him, and he took me out on some trails. I came back to Michigan after that weekend, and for like the next 2 months, I was just on the internet looking at bikes. Like, I got to get a bike, and
Just-
I found one. So
Nice.
since then, I've caught that bug.
Nice.
It's been a great time. Love it.
Yeah, I ride my bike as much as I can in the summer, but we just kind of do the bike pass. But I just like getting on the bike and just cruising.
It's
I
nice.
don't want to go do all the trails and shit. I ain't doing all the hills and all that. I work out enough. I don't need to do the
Yeah.
mountain.
Do you ride
Sure.
by like the lake and stuff?
Wherever, we'll pick a different trail every single time.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
recent, we did the one out here because you can go out in Fruitport and ride all the way around, go all the way through Spring Lake, all the way through Grand Haven, and then go back around.
Yep.
Basically, like that
Yep.
whole lake. We did that. That was kind of a trek. There was a lot of hills and shit, but we'll do stuff like that. I enjoy riding the bike too. It's nice just to get
Yeah,
on
it's
the bike and pedal. You know,
It's
so,
a blast. It's
yeah.
great.
Especially when turkeys get in your way.
Yeah, turkey jump out right in front of me, man. Like get the fuck out of the way, because like I don't want to break. I want to keep my groove going. And I swear it felt like a quarter mile. I'm like, this bastard will not get out from in front of
He
me.
was just running in front of you.
Yeah, he was probably freaking the hell out.
was that?
He's like, come on, come on, come on.
Uh,
Cross,
Oh
motherfucker.
man.
Did you tell us that in the group text?
yeah, I
I
almost
was
ate,
like,
I
hey.
almost ate shit for it.
Don't get hurt. We got a show coming up.
Dude, were you yelling at it the whole time too? Like,
Probably it's probably like under my breath, like, come on, Fucker, hurry up.
Oh,
I
that
could have
is
just
so
stopped,
funny.
but I didn't want to. Like, I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah, you got to keep trucking, man.
What about you, Chad? What do you like to do outside of any hobbies outside of?
Yeah, man, I was talking to Jason about it. It's like I've always got too many pots cooking, so it's like I got to turn the burners off sometimes. I got to pick and choose what I'm doing because I'm a busybody, like from sun up to sundown. It's like blessing and a curse, but it's like still drumming a lot. I play in another band called The Wildlife.
I listened to that song.
Yeah,
good.
it's a lot
So
different
good.
than this, obviously,
Yeah.
but we've got one track up on Spotify, but I'm pretty busy with that. Me and my buddy Phil, we've been writing a lot. But then I do a lot of lifting and started doing the CrossFit thing, which is a lot of fun. But those are the two main things. They keep me pretty busy, But a lot of other sports things. I was doing a lot of basketball and things like that for
Oh,
a while.
nice.
But that's one of those things where it's like something had to go.
Yeah.
Like
Can't do it all.
I had to set something aside, because family is important. So I dedicate a lot of time to that. So yeah, those two things really
Yeah.
are the main
Yeah.
things to keep me busy.
I get that because I want to learn jujitsu, but I don't have fucking time for that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you'd have to dedicate so much.
Full-time job, podcast, band. It's like, what the fuck else do I need to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu,
And
apparently.
then other music projects too that working on. So there's like more than just the band too. So it's like, I'm the same way. I understand. It's just always morning till night, something to do.
Yeah, you got to give something up to stay sane.
And you don't really want to give much of that family time up neither because you got to watch them kids grow up, man. They grow up
for
so
sure,
fast,
man.
Yeah.
So it's like one of
For
those things where it's
sure.
like you really got to be choosy, But what about you, Parker?
When I started playing guitar again, my gym time went down. But I spend a lot of time doing projects around the house, trying to get my house listed for sale. So I've been doing some remodel stuff, and like I go watch my daughters play volleyball.
Okay.
My oldest two are both playing volleyball, so that's kind of a big thing right now for us. A couple nights a week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just hanging with the fam a lot.
You getting your house listed? You're moving then? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
obviously?
we've talked about moving out of Michigan.
Really?
Down to Florida.
Okay.
But right now I want to get it listed for sale.
Okay. That'd be a long drive to make the podcast next time. I would say.
Yeah, you gotta get some cash in some miles.
Yeah. For the second show that you guys aren't gonna do, like
Maybe
or
we'll
the
go.
recording.
Maybe we'll go to Florida for that. Show.
Yeah, there you go.
Go play-
FYA.
Mayhan would love it. He'll be there.
So how do you feel about that? Then so you just kind of got bit by the RIY bug and you guys are jamming, and then if you move, you think you might continue to play now that you've started playing again a lot? Like,
Yes.
At least down in Florida, maybe find some cats or something. Or
Yeah, when I bought my gear, I got into the modeling world, right? So when I bought my gear, I was like, I want to be able to use it after Reinventing Yesterday. So I didn't want to buy like just strictly like metal gear.
Yeah,
It's like-
6505 plus.
Yeah. So and like I have a lot of other musical influences. But yeah, I want to keep playing. I wouldn't
That's
mind going to Florida and starting a band called Snake Out and play all their songs.
Be careful, man. They're
I-
playing in Gainesville. Aren't
I was
they?
gonna say I heard that name's taken, so maybe try Snake In, and then,
Or make out.
yeah, make out or
yeah.
Snake In
Snack
or
out.
take out. I don't
Take
know.
out, yeah.
Honestly, there's like a lot of live music down there. I wouldn't mind being in like, a cover band, go play a 4-hour set. Just like,
Get paid.
yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
That's cool. Go play some Jimmy Buffett.
Margaritaville.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's what you'll be making down there.
It's nice to play when the music that's already got a built-in fan base. So 4 hours at a bar, there's going to be people out there
Yeah.
For sure.
and some scratch money in the pocket there.
What about you, Luke? I mean, I know what you do, but you go ahead. And, this is this is for your fans, bro.
For the fans.
yeah.
Man, I don't know. I tattoo. I love tattooing. I love drawing, painting, hanging out with my family, my wife. The coolest 9-year-old there is, Sloan. Shout out Sloan.
future guest of the Metal Maniacs podcast.
Yep, she wants to be on this podcast so bad. She asks every time we come over here, when is he going to let me be on the podcast, man? And I said, you better come up with your top 5 extreme metal albums. And she started to.
Nice.
Sissy Boys is on the top of the list.
Sissy
Nice.
Boys and Taylor Swift. Other than that, man, I'd chill out in my relaxing time, watch mindless television and UFC.
Ooh,
Shit like
yeah.
that.
Did you watch that fight last night?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
late.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I just always watch the highlights the next day. 'Cause
Oh, I know,
can't
you
stay
were-
up that late.
You were asleep before the main card even started.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. For sure.
It was good.
Yeah, I did see the highlights, but
We'll talk
rare.
later.
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to know. So we're gonna, we said most everything that we need to say about as far as the show. Is there anything else that you guys want to say about the show?
Come on out.
Yeah, let's pack the house at Bell's. Let's have
we're
a
really
awesome night
excited
to remember.
play Bells because
Yeah.
we never got to play Bells.
No, they weren't
Back
really
in the
doing
day.
shows like this.
Not
I feel like
back then.
Definitely not metal shows.
no way.
I think
Nowhere
the most
even near.
metal band I've seen there was with you. We saw Reggie in the Full Effect there.
Yeah, yep, that was awesome. That was
How
a
did I
great
miss
night.
that?
I don't know. It was a good show though.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, I mean, another good reason to come out too is like, everyone who's seen us before has seen us, and I mean, not to bash any venues, but it's like a lot of people have seen us in places without good sound, and I think that we pulled it off good. Like, I loved playing all of those venues that we played in the past, but it's like at Bell's, you're gonna get really quality sound.
Yeah.
It's gonna be loud, it's gonna be heavy.
That had a big influence on why we picked Bells.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like, a very professional atmosphere, so it's going to be a really great sounding show from all the bands.
I think we're
You know?
sharing a lot of gear with Dies too, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
combining-
transition time's going to be really quick in between
Yeah,
bands, which
good
is
band,
awesome
band,
too,
band.
So
Yeah, we got all that planned out.
Yeah, sharing all the cabs, going full stacks. So you just like unplugging a speaker cable and plugging it into your gear
Nice.
for
Yeah,
guitars and
yep.
bass.
Gonna be
it's going to be great.
Then that's left stuff that Addison will have to mic up and everything too.
Mhm.
So that's
Sweet.
cool.
And they have
Trying to
two-hearted there.
be-
The schedule's tight.
They've got two-hearted, so
Yeah.
if you're not into metal, come have some two-hearteds, and after 6 of them, you'll like metal.
Yeah,
You'll be good to go.
You'll be moshing, whether
Yeah,
you
you'll
want to or not.
You'll be out there.
You'll feel like a sack of shit the next morning too.
Yeah.
You definitely feel like you moshed.
True,
that's for
true,
sure.
yeah.
So tickets on
Yeah.
sale now, Black Friday 2024 at Bell's. What time does the show start?
8 o'clock sharp.
8 o'clock.
Schedule-
Tickets are 15.
Yep.
Yes.
Schedule's tight.
Good.
So
Tight schedule.
first
What-
band is 8 o'clock.
What time you guys got to be out of there? Midnight?
All
Is that
clear
a
by midnight, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
more of a brewery and not like an actual bar. That's kind of how Unruly is. It's like they kind of wrap up everything at midnight,
Yeah,
We
That's-
got to
they don't
be
do it like-
loaded out by midnight.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
out the door.
So it's a tight thing. So
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll never let us play there again.
not that you'll ever be able to see that anyway, but
Oh man.
well, tell me a little bit about. We'll start here with you, Jason. Tell me a little about your journey just into like getting into extreme metal and wanting to play this style of music.
I think Chad hit on a lot of it earlier, but so I think my story's nothing. It's probably a little underwhelming, but
All right,
You-
Luke, your turn.
just kidding. It's your typical pathway. Growing up in the Midwest, it's what's on the radio. That's where it starts. So Metallica, that introduces you to Slayer, Megadeth, and then when I think of metalcore, Killswitch Engage, good gateway band.
Yeah,
Then
of
I
the
started
first.
getting into a little more extreme, like Every Time I Die. And then you just follow those paths, right? So that was late high school to early college. And then when we and during that time we were playing. And then we also meeting Luke and JP and then being introduced to more and more extreme. And it just seemed like you time it was like a little bit more, and then now I love all those things. So if I would have went from Metallica in high school to like Black Dahlia Murder, probably wouldn't have caught the same interest.
Right.
So for me, it's been kind of tapered,
Yeah.
a gradual approach. But I've got a lot of influences too. I like a lot of blues, rock, vast majority of music. So.
Why did you pick up the guitar?
Well, I sucked at sports. That was a big part of it. I had to do something. I remember my sister, she was big into music as well. So, she was kind of big into the new metal days, Korn, Limp Bizkit, and then she'd have like videos of them playing live. I'm like, man, that would be cool to play. Like, I need to get a guitar. Like, so my parents hooked me up one summer with a guitar, and
7-string? Was it?
No,
the
it
gate.
was a Fender Stratocaster.
Okay. I was just wondering. You said you're influenced by Korn. I thought you went right for the 7.
Oh
Straight-
no, that was more of like an unearthed thing. Like,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
the Stratocaster.
Classic Strat.
Yep. Still have it. Really
Nice.
good guitar. A lot of miles on that thing. But yeah, that was 6th grade, I think. First guitar. So
And then were you playing guitar the whole time that the hiatus was off, or
I wasn't
are you
playing with-
dabbling, or
I wasn't playing with bands, but I would still play.
Okay.
I'd keep my chops. Yeah. So
unlike Dave that didn't play for a long time, you
There-
at least kind of played a little bit here and there.
there were times I was like, do I want this anymore? Like, I could sell it and make some money. And then my wife, like, no, you're gonna want that again one day. She was right. So,
Dez is usually
Good
right.
job, Des.
Yeah.
she's right about a lot of things.
What about you, Parker? How did your extreme metal journey start?
So my dad was a metal guy. I got an acoustic at 6. I got a Fender at 8. It was Metallica. I got more into high school, a lot of Slayer. My big 4 was Metallica, Slayer, Testament, Overkill. That's
Okay.
the real big 4 to me.
Thrashtastic.
As I got into my first hardcore was probably like some Biohazard, honestly.
That makes sense.
And then I was always a thrash guy. And then in high school I was like, I never cared about the message, but I got into like extreme stuff just because it was like technical. Cannibal Corpse. I didn't care about the gore and I just liked the music, right?
Yeah.
And I got into a lot of Swedish metal, In Flames, Soilwork. Then I got into black metal, like Cradle of Filth. I was big into for a while. Again, just for music,
Yeah.
not caring about image,
Right.
like any of that. So then I got into hardcore. Now I probably just listen to hardcore
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
Like I'll throw some Testament on or something from back in the day, but like
So you listen to classics like Throwdown and Acacia Strain, or you listen to Knock Loose and
Yeah, like- Probably like-
Body Snatcher, stuff like that?
Trapped Under Ice.
Oh, that kind of hardcore.
Yeah,
The real hard.
Yeah, the
real
He
hardcore.
looks at Luke.
Well, I knew that's what it was. That is the real hardcore,
yeah.
It's hard to say because you try to classify things, you try to subgenre things, but you can say like a lot of that Acacia Strain, Throwdown, all that stuff in there isn't. There's hardcore elements.
Elements,
But
yeah.
I hate calling it metalcore because when I think of metalcore, then I think of All That Remains, Killswitch Engage, God Forbid, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like, what do you really call it? I don't really know what to call it because to me it's not metalcore, but it's also not hardcore because
True.
to me Trapped Under Ice, that's more hardcore. That's like
Mhm.
very punk adjacent. It's like one step up from punk almost. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind
For
of where
sure.
hardcore flows
Mhm.
in my mind, at least.
For
you know?
sure.
I
So-
just like stuff that vibes,
Yeah.
just grooves.
Oh, yeah.
Never cared about message. Like it sounds weird, but just didn't.
Yeah.
So
Well, being a musician, you can kind of look at it a different way, whereas on the surface, a lot of people that are just fans of music or, seeing the music from the outside, they kind of will only see the image first or only know about the gore or the bloody cover
Yeah.
before they understand what it takes to actually make that bloody
Yeah.
cover, that gore, and whatever art is on that CD, So,
Mhm.
hell yeah. What about you, Chad? I know you kind of said a little bit earlier, but you kind of went into the whole
Band
you
history.
went into the band history.
Oh,
right
yeah.
away. I was kind of more asking about
got
how
ahead
you
of you.
became a drummer. It's all good. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you that anyway, so you were just ahead of the game.
Cool. For me, first like glimpse into metal, I was really little. My cousin had a And Justice for All tape.
Good
And I
start.
remember the day like he put that tape in and I heard Blackened for the first time. It's like, what the hell
Changed
is
your life.
this? It's like,
Yep.
this is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
And then I was like hooked on that kind of stuff. But it's like that was like in the time where it's like you couldn't just go out and find more extreme music. It's like you were kind of given,
Yeah.
whatever you had there. So it's like I was hooked on Metallica for a long time because that's what was available. I have an older brother. Sad but true. There we go.
Get out.
If I had an older brother,
Oh, man.
It's unforgiven.
It continues.
it's a running gag we got going on here.
Timing was
Yeah. Oh, perfect, man. But yeah, that got me into it. But then it's like, in middle school, I started to branch out and, there's like a lot of new metal stuff. It's like new metal was on the rise. And then I started going to these local shows. There was this band called G Lethal 9 that was from my hometown and they played all over the place. And like somehow I would convince my parents and our friends' parents to drop us off at these shows. I remember seeing those dudes playing on these crappy little stages and thinking they look like they're having the best freaking time of their life. Like I got to do that.
Yeah.
And I was trying to play in the like middle school band and it was awful. So I just joined because I was like, band, like they've got a drum set. Like I want to play drums, It sucked. So I just started doing chores and picking blueberries and stuff until I could buy my own kit.
Okay.
Then I quit band and just like kept playing along to a lot of like Seven Dust. Like I really like the drums with that. Like just,
Jeez.
like
Yeah.
I loved all that stuff. And then like
Drums are so good on it.
and then like
Yeah.
John Otto got me into like the groove. Like I loved a lot of Limp Bizkit stuff when I was going through that era. But then it's like I started finding things like Unearthed where it's like, ooh, like fast and there's feel, So I started trying to keep up with all that kind of stuff and God forbid and things like that. So it's just like Jason said, it's like you find all these different paths and like transitions into the next intense thing. And then bands like Glassjaw came around, where I heard that and it's like, I bought that CD, the Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Silence. I bought that, heard it once. I was like, nope, not for me, bro. Put it in the closet. And then I came back to it a year later and I was like, what have I been missing?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
this is the coolest thing. It's like,
Yeah.
So then I started branching out into stuff like that. And that took me down a whole other rabbit hole of it's like a different kind of intensity. It's like
Yeah.
that kind of led me to like things like Dillinger and things like that.
You hear stuff differently too at different times. It's like
yeah, it didn't
like,
strike
that
a
was
chord with
fucking
me.
sick.
Yeah, it didn't strike a chord with me, but all of those different things started to take me into like different realms of intensity, I guess. And
Yeah.
and I always like gravitated towards the drums and that kind of stuff, and and then there's like Kill Switch, which definitely had the catchiness, like that stuff.
Top-notch songwriting. For sure.
Yeah, it's like that stuff's just like genius songwriting.
Yeah. Melody, how it all fits together.
Is there
Yeah.
anything,
perfect.
is there anything in your journey and your travels of discovering music where you kind of hit it now and you're like, that's just too heavy for me. That's beyond the pale for me. Like I don't really want to fuck with that.
like the territory I never like gravitated towards was like the black metal thing.
Right.
Like I just don't get it.
Sure.
Like I know that there's like skill in music. Yeah, I just it just never did anything to me. Yeah. Sorry, man.
I'm just kidding, dude.
Yeah,
it's not for everybody. It's not even for a lot of people actually. So
Yeah, it's like that's probably where like
Yeah.
I draw the line of intensity. It's like it just never really did anything.
Pretty noisy stuff.
yeah,
for
black
me.
metal's weird because it's not necessarily heavier because like death metal or tech death metal is like the heaviest you can get.
Yeah.
See, and I
Black-
love that stuff.
Right.
Like
but
that
the
stuff's
black metal
killer.
is almost like lighter, but it's like more extreme because of all of the
They hate
lore
everything,
around it.
yeah.
All of
Yeah.
the face paint and the
Oh, yeah.
and the inverted crosses.
The drumming
churches.
is usually the most intense.
yeah,
part.
yeah,
That's-
yeah,
that might be some of the
exactly.
heaviest drumming.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like you and I had been going back and forth online a little bit, like Despised Icon and stuff like that. And it's like
Oh, yeah.
that's like intense. The drums are insane, but it's like that
Heavy,
stuff is
heavy.
like I can be like at peace listening to that.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
that
sure.
or like Meshuggah. It's like I can just chill out and relax and listen to Meshuggah all damn day.
Yeah, they've got
you
some
know?
groove.
But yeah, you know, I don't know. But then there's a lot of good drumming and some light stuff too. Like my buddy Matt Thompson, Justin Suarez, they got me really hooked on this band called Foles. And they have this drummer called Jack Bevan. And like that dude's drums are just insane. So it's like, I don't know. I like to pull pieces from that kind of stuff too. But shout out Matt and Thompson for getting me hooked on Foles.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
What about your story, Luke? I have a feeling it doesn't start with Metallica. But before we go into that, the other
Sad
day,
but true. Once again,
so, did you guys see that post? So I reposted it. It was by the Forbes. They said Metallica voted greatest metal band of all time. So I just reshared it right on Facebook, and then I get into this discourse of all these fucking weirdos. Like I don't understand. And like, look, Metallica's not my favorite band, but my journey kind of started the same way. I heard some Metallica. And I had a guitar, and I was like, oh, I can start to learn some Metallica riffs. So I fucking love Metallica at the beginning, you know? Everybody kind of starts with Metallica. And that was my whole point, is like, they're not the greatest band of all time to me, but to say they're not the greatest metal band almost seems ridiculous to me. Like, as far as what they've accomplished success-wise, all the arenas and tours they continuously sell out, all of the merchandise they've sold. And like, it doesn't necessarily mean they're better musicians. That's not what I was saying. But the list says voted best band of all time. I'm like, or best metal band of all time. It's like, who the fuck else is going to have it? Like, you can give it to Black Sabbath, but they didn't sell even close to what Metallica ever has.
No.
Or any other band that anybody mentioned. Like, you can say, Led Zeppelin was, and they might be close, but then you're kind of pulling hairs on the whole metal thing to me, you know, because they're like rock, you know? So it's like, I don't know, I just got in some discourse, and I don't post those. I wanted to see what people are going to say, but this almost proves my point, where it's like, my point was that ask anybody or any of the bands that you listen to where they started, and they're going to say Metallica. Yeah. So tell me they're not the greatest, one of the greatest bands of all time, just in that.
Most
this proves my point.
influential.
I got 3 dudes sitting right here, and you all said fucking Metallica before you said anything else. Like,
they're definitely the most
influential,
right?
Yeah,
like influence-wise,
for sure.
you know. And that to me just means greatness, because if you start your journey or your sentence with "it all is because of Metallica," think of how many other people in the world are because of that. You know,
They also propelled the entire genre to like a living room, everyday, common person experience. Like metal became like acceptable by and large because of Metallica.
Yeah, it's like Metallica's literally a household name.
Yeah.
The
And
Black
comparing
Album
them,
just changed
comparing them
music
now
in
to
general. I feel like
and if people are comparing them now to like newer bands that are even more extreme, it's like, well, how many years and how much more influence has passed? Like, so go back in time and think about like what that meant, like the amount of like influence, impact they had. You know, you're almost comparing apples to oranges when you're comparing like a Black Dahlia Murder to Metallica.
Yeah, it's fair if kids are starting out there, but definitely Metallica is what enabled the Black Dahlia Murder to happen.
Exactly.
Like they were screeching and howling.
Most of the Black Dahlia Murder would say Metallica,
and that was kind of my point.
Sure,
too. Like what you just said, Jason. Like the band that's probably crazy tech, whatever. They'll probably say, "Yeah, it kind of started with Metallica too." So it's like to say that.
For sure.
Like, I'm not saying they're the best ever, but they're probably like one of my least favorite bands ever. Like on the list of bands, you'd have to scroll through multiple pages till I said Metallica. I'll tell you that right now.
I take my shots, but I also give them their props.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's all I was
same,
doing.
dude,
I was
for
just
sure.
trying to give them their flowers, and I only bring that up because you 3 said that, and I thought it was interesting. But you got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody says, if you say, "Hey, I play in a metal band," to like your grandma, and she might be like, "Oh, like Metallica," right? Like, I mean, that's kind of
1,000%.
You know,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
like you said, it's a household name.
Yeah.
They propelled that genre into something that's more accessible.
Yeah.
Without them, I don't think Slayer would have been in the house as much as they were on MTV and all that. You know, so. It's got to start somewhere, and I think Metallica is definitely a huge stepping stone that you can't deny.
Yeah, for sure.
every riff has come from a Metallica song.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. 024, like that chord, like, you know, it's like how many acoustic things have been made out of that. Even Metallica themselves have like 3 hit songs with that progression right there. You know. So, what about you, Luke? Tell us a little bit about for the fans.
How'd I get onto extreme music?
Yeah, like what? I mean, like I said, I kind of know, but
Yeah.
There's a whole podcast about it.
yeah, a couple of them.
There actually is. It's episode blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, before I met you guys, I mean, I could even say that one of my earliest memories of thinking back, one of my earliest memories of anything extreme music, like metal wise, was the Metallica 1 music video. Like the double bass part, you know,
Oh yeah.
at the end.
And all the
Yeah.
war stuff.
Like
and the
that
guy
was
hooked
probably
up to
one of the
machine
first
and shit.
things.
Yeah.
And then slowly from that into, Faith No More and new metal, and then met you two fuckers and
Tried to tame us.
yeah,
We were too wild.
too wild.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were,
I met you and bought a Limp Bizkit shirt.
Yeah, probably.
yep.
Luke was just so you know, just so you guys know. I don't know if you know. Luke was our DJ at first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that Reinventing wasn't looking for a DJ, so you had
Nope.
to take the vocal.
We are
yeah.
now. Agent Orange in the house.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Luke, how did you make the jump? When did you decide that you were going to start screaming? How did you find that out about yourself?
It was
I know it was involved with Room 237 with
it
Deegan
was
and Jay.
when we would do that House of Pain cover, Running Up On Ya, and then the Deftones cover.
Right.
Engine number 9.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I
Me
figured
too.
like if I can do these, like I'd always like, wanted to be in a band but couldn't play an instrument. So, I tried to be the DJ, that didn't work out. And then I figured I'd try vocals. So
Right.
started screaming and it, didn't sound great at first. Came around
Yeah,
and just kept working at it and figured this is what I wanted to do.
So just a couple of guest appearances on the mic, and then you decided I'm going to start screaming a little bit more and
Yeah.
build on that.
I think we played the House of Pain song once live, and it was basically that was it. It just felt great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Been chasing that dragon ever since.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The House of Pain
Uh,
Dragon.
The House of Pain dragon.
So how are you feeling now, vocally? Like how is everything
It's coming back.
coming around? Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken a while. First couple of practices, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty beat up about it. I'm pretty hard on myself naturally, so when it didn't click immediately, I was, I definitely had thoughts of, I think I'm in over my head. I think I chose the wrong path to come back to.
Mm.
But I kept working at it, and it came back. Now, I'm doing a little bit different approach. It's still RIY, but it feels great.
Okay. Nice.
Are you making time at home to scream when people aren't around, or what?
Not at home. I
Okay.
live in an apartment, so
Sure.
I don't want to scare my neighbors. I
Right,
do a
right.
lot in the car.
Okay. I know that.
Cops here again, Luke.
Yeah.
What are you screaming for?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like screaming in a car is a really dangerous idea because you can go lightheaded real quick trying to hold.
Oh,
out
I'm
some
not
screams.
like pushing myself too
Okay,
hard, but
okay.
at least like getting the chords working and
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, that's fair.
We've noticed it at our practices. Each practice, it's been like you said at first.
It's a tough thing to build back up.
Yeah.
It really
Big
is.
time.
But now we go through the sets multiple times at practice. So.
Yeah, and I still have my voice at the end
Yeah.
of practice,
That's
which
good.
is
The
A
idea of it
feat.
for me is just like Luke sitting in a parked car where people can just see him just like grabbing the steering wheel, screaming along, just like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
That would
Is this
be-
guy
That
okay?
would be cool.
That,
Do you
that
guys-
video
Oh,
was-
man.
The odds are they're not a metalhead, so it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this guy's problem?
Like,
man?
what is he listening to? Metallica in there?
You guys remember that guy in Kalamazoo that used to walk around with headphones in and just doing vocals?
Boombox Ronnie?
No. He was more of a metal version of
Oh.
Boombox
Oh,
Ronnie.
I think I missed that.
From downtown all the way to Portage, he would just walk up and down Westnedge.
Huh. Somehow that never caught my
I know what
eye.
you're talking about.
Yeah. I wonder what that dude's doing. I wonder if he ever found a
A
band.
younger cat, right? I
Yes.
think his name was Wolf.
Wolf?
Wolfie?
That
That's
sounds right.
perfect.
Even
That's
better.
cool.
He's the
What's
next-
Wolf up to?
The
Let's
next,
get Wolf on the podcast.
He's probably in jail.
Wolf,
Good
if you're
bet
out
on
there,
that.
hit us up on Facebook.
Good
Wolf
bet
could
on
be the
that.
next singer for See You Next Tuesday, right? You got Bear, Fox, and then
Oh, the
Wolf.
wolf.
Gotta get
Oh,
Wolf,
the
man.
progression. Oh,
Yeah.
it's meant to be.
You guys, sorry, do you guys remember the? Sorry to go off on this tangent, but you guys remember the Jimmy John Stalker guy?
Oh my gosh,
Just
that
this
was one of the
conversation
best
just
things.
brought that up, like just sparked that memory. That was the coolest.
It's one of the best
One of the
things
best
ever.
memories, I think, of
Yeah.
the whole band.
Recording in Grand Rapids. We were recording with Lance. What was Lance's last name? Do you remember?
Yeah, he played for Illface. Right?
Yeah. Speaking of G Lethal 9 too, I think he
Played
was
for
with
them.
them for a little while too.
Lance was the guy that did the Dies recordings. That Lance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he recorded Dies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did Conquistador and
Okay.
He did, really?
the Arise.
Oh.
What's
So-
Rise is the third album by Dice?
The one,
Rise
the
something?
whitish looking
The
one.
green one.
green one.
or
Yeah,
green
what
and
is that
white.
called? Rise something or
I can't
but
remember what
anyway,
his
but
last
he
name
did that
is.
one too.
I-
Lance.
I cannot
Yeah.
remember.
Because he had a studio right by where
In East
Mulligan's is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
over that way.
Lance,
Yep. Yeah, we
I was thinking it was white.
The Rise, the Fall.
The Rise of Fall, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we recorded a demo with him really shortly after Luke and JP.
Before Some May Not Make It Out Alive.
Yeah, so we recorded the same song, 3 of those tracks off Some May Not Make It Out Alive. But anyways, we're hanging out down there, and there was like a barber shop upstairs, and there's all sorts of riffraff going on. And all of a sudden, this dude shows up down in the studio, and he's like,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
just
know.
openly walks down the
He
steps.
just kind of shows up, and
We
he
thought
sees
he
that.
worked there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we thought Lance knew him.
Yeah. He sees us recording. I'm on drums. So somehow we ended up he's like, yo, play a beat. So I start playing a beat, and he's in right by the mic, like doing some crazy vocal, like
Freestyle.
he's trying to spit some rhymes. And then all of a sudden it just like ended like that. And he just goes, Jimmy John Stalker. And then he just runs out of the place. And
the
that's it. Like,
the funniest part was
just-
Lance was standing there the whole time. He's like, "You with you guys?" Like, no, we thought you knew the guy.
all of us thought the dude was like part of the crew
He walked in
somehow.
here like he owned the place.
Yeah. I just loved his like
John
departure.
Stalker.
Just like he spit some
John
rhymes,
Stalker.
and then Jimmy John Stalker, and then he
Bolts
just
out.
disappeared, and all of us looked at each other like,
Did that really just
that
happen?
happened?
Like,
And
what the fuck?
sadly, it didn't get recorded.
Oh,
Like,
That'd have been
It
sick.
should have been, because I was
Yeah.
playing a
If
beat.
if you're out there,
dude
hit
was
us
on
up
the mic.
Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah, it should have been recorded. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's like one of my favorite memories, man. I love thinking about that.
Well, shoot, fellas, is there anything else you want to go over? Mod will. You want to close this out here, Mod?
Ask them what they're listening to.
Yeah.
You guys want to share some heavy music that you want to impart upon your fans and listeners here at the show, and also something that you chill out to when you got the downtime to like not listen to metal. Like,
I'll go.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Right now, I've been listening to a ton of
Snake Out.
Snake Out.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna say that,
Yeah.
but also Novice out of GR, I think.
Oh,
Novice.
cool.
Yeah, they got a couple albums on Spotify. I just can't stop. Like it's just,
They're sick.
it's really good.
Are they heavy then, Parker?
It's like post-hardcore.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
Kind of melodic hardcore.
yeah.
Okay.
I really like that. Been getting reacquainted with the Dies discography.
Can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
memory lane there.
When I'm not listening to metal,
Yeah, sure.
I've been into this Treaty Oak Revival. It's country or southern rock, but it's probably more country.
What's the name of it?
Treaty Oak Revival.
Gotcha.
You'll have to
it's
link
stuff,
me.
Like I got into country because like I could listen to it around my kids, and then I found country that I can't listen to around my kids because it's like just as bad as like
Rap
yeah.
music?
Well, like language and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my kids are
Yeah.
young,
Content.
so like
Yeah.
this is like a country band or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't turn that on around the kids. You know.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just in my parenting world, like I don't mind like a curse word here and there. That's whatever. But it really boils down to like content. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can't,
yeah, for
we can't be
sure.
sliding a P and a V in the song. Like,
Yeah.
that's too young for that. Like, that's just too
Kids
much.
not listening to WAP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it down to the basement, lock the door, and fire up the WAP. But
Just firing up the WAP.
make sure, lock the door.
Dude,
Firing it
In
up.
the basement.
Oh,
Here
man.
goes WAP. Great video.
Firing it up. That's the best, dude. I love it. Oh man, what's the name? Treaty Oak Revival.
Treaty Oak
Yeah,
Revival.
It
I'm
sounds like
interested.
they got out a dictionary and they're like, that word. All right, we need a second word. And that one.
Is it like have to like treaty oak, like an oak tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, we should
Yeah.
name our band Oak Tree, and you're like, how about Treaty Oak? And they're like, yeah, that's good.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
that's the
Run
maybe
it.
that's the town name.
Sorry, not
Treaty
trying to,
Oak.
not bashing them, dude.
Yeah, Treaty Oak Well, yep.
So it's TREEDEOAK.
TREATY.
Yeah.
Right. Or unless
Treaty
Treaty.
Oak. Gotcha.
What was
I
I
thought
saying?
you were saying Tree D.
No,
Oh.
treaty.
Gotcha.
like a treaty.
That makes way more sense.
Treaty.
Treaty Oak.
Who else wants to
Gotcha.
contribute to our list of bands that we're listening to these days?
Cool. Who's next?
You,
Am I
man.
next?
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the first one. These guys know I'm digging them now because I've kind of discovered it on the way here, actually. Just keep thinking about it. Silent Planet's new album
Okay.
called Super Bloom.
Yeah,
Like,
we mentioned that at the end of the year last year in terms of top metal albums. that
Man,
came
I
out.
heard that and first track. I was like, okay, I'm hooked. And then, I'm listening to it again on my way home today. But they're like a new find for me, kind of. But I really like this band called Gideon
Yeah.
a lot. Like, they're one of my favorites. They kind of
like southern hardcore kind of.
Yeah, but like,
I
cowboy
heard
hats
that
and
the other
shit.
day.
I love
Yeah,
those
for-
guys because like
They're good.
they have this like Limp Bizkit groove to them at
Yeah,
times.
there's
Like the drums, like the
Yeah.
drums are very like John Otto inspired, which like I just love that. Like not that I necessarily think Limp Bizkit's like this great band, but I think the groove that John Otto brings is
Limp
is
Bizkit's a great
awesome.
band, how dare
So
you.
it's like I mean I get
I mean,
down
they
with
are.
I get down with the
They're
LB,
big.
but yeah, it's like they have this like cool groove to them, and I like the concept too. Like I don't know,
They got
the-
a little new metal.
there's a little new metal there,
Yeah, a little
you
new
know,
metal flavor, a
See,
little.
but it's heavy. There's some
Yeah, I was surprisingly like if you read that on paper, like this is the band that kind of are like down south southern kind of cowboy looking guys, and they
Yeah.
kind of have a new metal feel, but they play like hardcore metalcore. Be like, don't ever show me that, please.
yeah, but
I
then
don't
yeah,
ever wanna hear that.
it's
like-
same. Yeah, if I
But
read
then
it
I
on
listened
paper,
to it and I was like, these guys fucking jam, dude. What the hell?
yeah,
I
you're
was
so
like,
right.
hell yeah.
If I read those words on paper, I'd be like, nope,
Yeah.
not clicking that
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it's like those dudes are tight. Stray from the Path is like one that I just
Okay.
constantly go back to because Craig Reynolds is
He's a monster.
he's probably like one of my top 5 drummers. Dude's insane.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
I like
'cause
Drew York's vocals too, and that guitar player's just super creative.
His podcast is really cool too.
Yeah, the downbeat. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, is
so,
that who that is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I never listened to I'm familiar with the pod, but I'm not familiar with the.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
Stand.
he just had Ishan from Emperor. Ishan.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
had
That's
him
sick.
on. It was
yeah,
a
he
really
gets
good episode.
he gets some cool people on that for sure.
I actually went and listened to the Ishan CD, and it's wild as fuck. So
He put out some solo stuff.
yeah, he has a few albums.
Couple.
But
Oh, I
this-
didn't even know
this
that.
new- Yeah, he put out one this year, and it's insane.
Did some work with Matt Hafey from Trivium too, right?
Yeah, it's
wow.
it's strange
They were
because
rocky.
it's like it's a black metal feel. There's singing but there's like this real weird black metal overtone. It's hard to explain what it is, and then like sometimes it gets weird and quirky, like almost some Frank Zappa type shit in there.
Huh.
It's
Wow.
like it's very strange, but it's good music. But
Sounds
he did-
interesting.
He programmed all of like the orchestration and stuff, and then there's 2 versions of it. There's like a metal version with all the metal stuff, and then there's a version that's just all orchestration.
Hmm.
So
Oh.
it's pretty interesting.
Sounds
stuff
cool.
Anyway,
I'm interested.
So
Any
it's
ch-
worth a spin.
Any chill music out of your?
Yeah, like I'm kind of all over the place. So it's like I really like this group called Tycho. They're like pretty low key. It's very chill stuff.
I
Like
swear that's the second time somebody said that on the show too.
I love
It
that's
sounds
all. That's
super
always one of my
familiar.
go-tos. Like
Yeah.
focus music or just like I just want to chill out and enjoy something that's well constructed. Like I think there's a lot of talent that goes in there, and there's like a visual aspect that dude, the main guy, comes up with. Like he creates all that stuff, so it's like a whole experience. Like I like to watch their videos when I'm listening to him because he
Yeah.
creates all the visual, and it's very intentional.
Okay.
So it's like a cool experience. But I really like that band Foles. Shout out Thompson and Suarez. And then I really like. I mean, not necessarily like chill, but I mean, I really like Fantagram a lot. Like they're one of my favorite
I'd say that's chill.
groups. And I Luke got me into them. Like he showed me the song "Mouthful of Diamonds" long time ago,
Still love
and
that
I just
song.
love that band so much because I don't know, the production's unique. They're like a pop band that you don't have to have any guilt enjoying. Because like some of the stuff is like pop, like you know, like Sarah's singing and stuff. It's pretty pop influenced in a lot of the a lot of the really catchy stuff, but it's like, you know, it comes from a genuine place, and you know that they're the ones putting in the work. So it's like,
Not
I enjoy that.
Not canned, not manufactured.
Yeah, I enjoy the
yeah,
whole
sick.
package with them. Like,
Yeah,
they're
cool.
just great. So yeah, those are my go-tos.
The Tycho
lot.
is that TICO.
TYCHO.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Make
it's
sure you get that right.
mostly instrumental. They got one called Weather that's got a female vocalist. That one's really good though too.
Anybody else? Luke, I know you listen to a lot of music. You send me a bunch of it. Are you ready to answer, or you want to wait?
Sure. Heavy. Lately, I've been listening to this band called Risk.
Okay.
Uh,
Like the board game.
yeah.
Is that their theme?
I hope so.
I'll dress
No,
up.
I'm not really sure what their theme is yet. I haven't like done a lot of research on them.
Sure.
They're just I think they're from the East Coast. I want to say maybe the Boston. They're a hardcore band. They're
Boston
just doing
hardcore.
it cool, like a different way. Another hardcore band I just got like kind of infatuated with is Haywire.
Hate Wire?
Haywire.
Haywire, thank you.
Yeah.
From that show,
What's that?
from the Rake show.
No, they're from Boston.
Weren't they on that show?
No, I
They
wish.
weren't.
No, that was Chained.
Oh,
That's right.
If Haywire played in Muskegon,
heavy
I
is the
would,
head, or
Yeah, I would come out of Mosh retirement for that. But yeah, that stuff's been really kind of on my constant playlist
Okay.
lately. And Chill, he actually is responsible for my chill obsession right now. It's this dude Petey from Michigan, just Petey. So catchy, so chill, and it's just cool as hell that he's from Michigan.
Did you send that out in the group chat?
I think so.
Oh, I missed that one. I'll have
Yeah,
to check
I've
that
been
out.
listening to it ever since, like his whole discography.
I'll have to check that one out.
It
Yeah, I have to check that
jams.
out too.
Sometimes our text threads have like 80 unread messages.
Yeah.
So I miss a couple
Yeah,
things every
it's-
now and then.
I'll be like doing a tattoo and I'll pick up my phone and it'll be like 113 notifications.
Fuck
and I'm
that.
like, Jesus.
Yeah, the group
Yeah,
the
you
group
gotta-
text
Yeah,
is
we
intense.
get out of control sometimes.
You got to curtail all those memes and all that shit back in a group thread because you're like
Yeah.
looking for something. You're like, man, you didn't need to send like 42 memes in the goddamn group
Yeah.
text. Like,
Yeah.
just send me information that's
Yeah, I get it.
valid. Like, I can find
Like,
a meme
It's
too.
like, man, these
Well-
motherfuckers like Snake Out.
and there's 4 of us that are pushing to cover Sad But True. So
Yeah.
Four of us.
4 of us want to do Sad But True.
4 of us.
4. I can imagine
4 out of
somebody
5.
who wouldn't.
dude, just let B-Man sing it. He'll sing it for
Yeah,
you.
there you go.
Oh,
I fucking love that.
Get
see,
yourself
we'll
a
give
water.
you a little breaky
Yeah,
break, Luke.
Take a break. And
How many? I'm running out of James Hetfield gifts to send in the chat. So.
Oh, another one, chill that I've been jamming a lot is Chapel Roan.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, she's coming up, right?
Pink Pony Club.
Sloan loves it too.
it's
so
catchy.
it's cool that we
It's
get
catchy
to
stuff.
It
listen to something
helps.
together.
It helps.
And Sloan really loves the Sissy Boys.
Yeah,
Shout
that's so
out Sissy
awesome.
Boys.
That's so awesome.
yeah, shout out Sissy Boys. Hopefully they'll be on the show here soon.
Cool.
Also, coolest hardcore band name ever.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sissy
for
Boys.
sure.
Just love it.
What about you, Jay?
Jay.
Nothing as branchy as these guys. I'm still listening to my typical Dillinger Escape Plan, Acacia Strain. One band that I always navigate to is, and they've got an album that probably came out a couple years ago called Endless Hallway. He is Legend.
Okay.
Pretty solid group. Probably a mix of like hard rock and metal. A little more on the metal side. Definitely some heavy blues influence with those guys, but the guitar player just is a riff machine. Like
They
catchy,
played Furnace Fest too.
yeah, catchy hooks. I mean, great stuff. Love that band to death. Newer stuff, probably some more obvious things. I was a huge Every Time I Die fan, so naturally Better Lovers is up in my favorites right now.
Mm.
Very creative group. I love what they're doing.
What about Many Eyes?
I was just gonna ask. Yeah.
Not a Many Eyes fan.
Yeah.
I saw them live
Did
about a month ago or
did
so.
the breakup affect you? Like how you perceived which faction you were going to like give your attention to, or did that not matter to you? Like all the drama that played out within that band.
No, I read through it all, and I was like, man, just hopefully they could work their shit out. 2 sides to every story, I'm
Sure.
sure. And
Yeah.
and you
And
like,
it still unfolds. Like we get
Yeah.
little nuggets here and there
But-
in the media.
but the Many Eyes just, the first song they came out with, I was like, yeah, that's kind of groovy. It's not ETID and it's not as complex. It's not as creative.
That's
But,
more rock.
yeah, more rock.
A little more
But
straightforward.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
yeah, it's a catchy one, but like
Yeah.
I heard other ones, and then just it's nothing that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna plug that in and listen to right now. But
Sure.
definitely more of the on the Better Lovers.
Yeah.
Is that
for
out?
Sure.
Is the Better Lovers
The new
LP
one?
out?
There-
Because I know it was like coming out soon,
I'm not sure what approach
but I
they're.
can't remember what if it was out yet or not.
I'm not sure what they're doing because I watched an interview with Greg and Jordan, and they were talking about like their approach. Like they've got a great producer in their band, right? So
Yeah, well,
they could write stuff whenever they want to, and that's almost the approach they took. They talked about historically, like bands would go in, write an album, then release it, and then they might not be vibing to that anymore. But so now it's like when they have something, they're just putting it out.
Oh,
and
okay.
letting people listen to it. So I don't know how they're gonna compile
Yeah.
all that and turn it into an album.
I thought they were had some because I seen the artwork and everything, and it said like coming soon or something, but I wasn't real sure what they
October
had.
25th.
Okay, all right,
Is that what okay.
all right, good.
Yeah,
Then I'm not
so
crazy.
excited for that. So yeah, just kind of like I said, nothing too outside the lines right now. As far as chill stuff, I went back in time and listened to Highly Refined Pirates the other day by Minus the Bear.
Oh yeah, Minus
Good.
the Bear.
Classic.
Oh, how
Good
did I not
album.
bring that up?
Great band.
Good album.
You
I love
are
that
the
band.
Minus the Bear.
How did I
guy.
miss that? And
Uh-huh.
yeah, all right,
That's
it's there now.
when I hear Minus the Bear, I usually think of you.
Just
I do
picture
too.
me dancing in my
Yeah.
underwear.
Yep.
Omni is one of my favorite albums.
That's
of
a
all
great
time.
one,
so
too.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then PD.
Good call, Jason.
Petey.
PD.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna check that out too
My-
because
Yeah, my buddy John introduced me to him, and I didn't like him at first, but then I listened to it more and more. I'm like, this guy's got really good stuff. And
yeah.
It was like one spin for me, and like that song "Don't Tell the Boys," that song just like clicked for me.
That's
I
a
was
cool
like,
one.
this song slaps.
and if you listen to his lyrics, he's a funny dude.
He is. He's got some funny parts.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll definitely check him out.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
same.
that lyric he's talking about. We can watch the OC until Miranda fucking dies.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre? I want to
No.
pet your dog.
No.
Oh,
No.
It's it's kind of like municipal waste, but it's like I want to pet your dog. It's like all about petting people's dogs. You guys check it out. It's so funny, dude.
It's like
The
big
The
ass
video is
truck.
awesome. It's like downtown Chicago. If you're, I don't know.
Send it to me.
All right, well, it's
We'll
good.
have to check that out. All right, boys. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up. We've been almost at it for 2 hours. I want to say I appreciate your time. I know you guys had a trek getting here and everything. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. Thanks for coming on the show, answering
Thanks
all
for
the
having us.
questions.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank
all the
you.
questions. Yeah, for
was
sure.
great.
Appreciate it. Looking forward to the show. Is there anything else you guys want to go out with or anything, last closing thoughts that you want to say, anything you want to promote? How do you find shit? Let us know what's up.
Everything's up on Spotify, Bandcamp. So stream those songs before you come. We're counting on you knowing all the gang
Yeah,
vocals.
sing
Yeah.
along.
Follow the Instagram.
Stage dives.
Stream the songs.
Stage
Yeah, the
dive.
Instagram. Parker's like got the killer memes going on. He's like the meme lord over here.
Trying.
So he's got some goods going on.
That's what it takes. I feel like it's more about
Yeah.
content these days than like
yeah. You got.
songs. So
You have to stay in the algorithm in people's feeds every day. So who
Yeah.
runs the real quick? Who runs the Facebook? Who added me as their friend? I
Uh,
figured it was Luke.
oh man,
Then I thought
Uh-uh.
probably maybe Chad.
I run a
I've
lot of the
only logged
Facebook, but
in once.
If it was a friend request, it probably came from JP.
JP, that dude has friended like
well, it's just
he got our account
People,
shut
man.
down.
it was an odd approach because normally you like create a page.
which is great,
Yeah,
by the
and
way,
you
JP.
follow the-
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
But a page for a band as a person operating it, you can like cap out at 5,000 friends, I think. So I was like, oh, I mean, I guess if like
yeah, if
Well,
it's not a business page and then it's a regular page, they might also like take it down because of the whole name thing.
yeah.
Because they've done that before. I tried to make a personal page because you
But
can then add people.
It
and
also
do shit a
allows
lot
that
easier.
page to interact with you in a different way. Like, I can't
Yes.
get on the Metal Maniacs page and like interact with all our followers.
Right.
I'm like, who is behind the curtain here? Who I'm letting into my life?
So,
Like,
hon-
what-
so
I only know
honestly-
Luke, really. And Chad, like we know each other in passing pretty
Yeah,
much, but
for
like,
sure.
and I'm like, if it's Luke, it's fine. But I'm like, if it's some random dude checking out me and my family, and like, I don't know if this dude's gonna even be into me at all. Like, like,
It's our manager.
this guy's
into
not-
me?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's our
he's not
manager.
in. This guy's not metal.
He's
I don't want to be on his show. That's probably why he's not fucking here.
It's actually Jimmy John Stalker who runs the page.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
hand-picking metalheads to add as friends throughout the day.
So yeah, Parker does all the Instagram stuff. And then we kind of team up on some of the Facebook stuff. We're not as active on there. But like JP in his downtime for a while, he's like, we needed to get the word out that we were back in action, so JP like definitely put in a lot of time on friending people.
Yep.
But yeah, it was kind of like a happy accident though, because it's like I created the page and I don't know why I just created it as a person,
Facebook
and
page.
then Parker, I think it was you who was like, well, it's kind of nice because then we don't have to wait for people to come find us.
Yeah.
Like if this is a one-time deal, like we want to get the word out so we can be the ones extending ourselves out there. So
It's a good
it
idea.
works out really well.
In that aspect for sure.
It's
Yeah.
probably kind of annoying too, people getting friend requests from us, but
Well, we had one-
that one girl that was like, "So thanks, but I don't know you guys."
Will you
JP
stop
was
friend
adding
requesting
so
me?
many people, like
Yeah.
the account was getting froze. Like
Oh.
you cannot add more friends for 24 hours.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, 'cause they
JP, chill, dude.
They thought you were a bot and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then we had all the asses for a while, like all the girls with big,
Dude, we were
big
getting
asses.
spam left and right.
Spam
What-
friends.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who was like, y'all got more spam than the fucking grocery store?
Oh man, was that John?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, John Beatty. Yeah, it was that was a great.
Yeah, you'd log
great
out
call.
and it's like, holy shit, man. It's all just TNA, man.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I was spending a lot of time just like monitoring and shutting down spam until like I figured out that there's an easy way to just like not let us
block.
get tagged in posts,
Right. Oh,
So
yeah, at followers and shit.
Yeah.
Stuff's dumb. Well, anyway, boys, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's been
I'll
real.
see
Thanks
you
for
guys
the
on
platform.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I will be sending you all some clips and everything of this so you can help promote the show and shit too as it starts to approach a little closer. So,
Heck yeah,
Thanks,
it's
man.
awesome. We
Thank you.
appreciate it a lot, guys.
and I need to get. I'll talk to you after the show. So, all right, boys, keep it metal. Much love. Peace.
Peace.
Later. Thank you so much for checking out the episode. Be sure to hit that like button and give us a share.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed our podcast today, please give it a rating on your streaming service to help us gain some exposure.
And if you really enjoyed the show, please give us a follow or hit that subscribe button and come hang out with us every week. And remember, keep it metal.